Welcome to the Fantasy Football Garage. I'm Chris the Candy Man, and you already know what time it is. Tonight, we're drafting best ball teams and a little bit of recap of week 3, a preview look ahead at week 4. We're going to be jumping on Underdog and doing some, I think, primetime paloozas is the tournament we're interested in drafting tonight for this upcoming week. The slate. We've got a Thursday night game, a Sunday morning game across the pond, and then a Sunday night game. So extra special. We have 3 games in the primetime Palooza this week. Going to be fun to do that. There's actually 2 Monday night games as well. We'll get into the Jackson Dart starting news. Are we going to see Jaden Daniels come back and play this week? Looks like we're getting Carson Wentz again. Is Justin Fields coming back to start? We know Mike Evans is going to be out for at least 2 to 4 weeks with, I think, a hamstring. Could linger. Maybe it is 4 weeks. Wow. He'd be out for a while. CeeDee Lamb looking like a high ankle sprain is going to hold him out for the foreseeable future. Huge bummer. James Conner going down for the season. You hate to see it. But we'll have to move forward, set our lineups, pick up some waivers tonight for our managed leagues, and get to it attacking the week 4 slate. If you're new to the channel, if you're watching this later in the future, make sure you're subscribed. I've got a goal to hit 1,000 subscribers by the start of next NFL season, and I think we can do it. We're having a lot of fun here on the channel. We eclipsed 500 subs this summer during Best Ball Summer at the peak of it. Thanks to you all. And so now, if you're interested, you can become a member of the channel. Join the inner circle. Get exclusive perks, the emotes to drop in the channel, and a lot more membership perks to be announced. But let's get right into it. Let's talk about this week 4 slate and draft some best ball teams. Have some fun tonight. And we have an extra special guest. Hartman Fantasy Football is going to be joining the channel momentarily. He's getting ready. He's going to jump on. We're going to talk some ball, recap how his week 3 went, how his best ball teams are doing, and getting into it, looking ahead to week 4. So I'm excited for that. Let's hit the intro and jump right into it. Overall, it's like the guy can ball. Like, actions speak louder than words. Hey, yo, what's going on? Got Who Hames in the house. Sup, fam? How we doing, brother? Who Hames said he's maxing the second quarter if he can. I gotta get with Who Hames real soon and draft some of that with him. I need the tactics, the strategies. I need to know what's going on. Are we full fading week 8 buys? What are we doing? Got to get with Who Hames and draft some of that second quarter on Underdog. I'm real interested, and it looks like it's filling pretty quickly. I'm assuming we're gonna have to draft it this week because it goes weeks 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So yeah, a little of all of it. Yeah, I'm excited, man. I want to jump in those streets. I haven't done my second quarter yet, but I want to rip off as many as I can before it closes, which I'm assuming is in about a little over a week. If it makes it, to that Thursday night game, I don't think it will. I think it will close before then. So we'll have to find a time, Who Hames. We got to connect and draft some of those bad boys and be fun to talk through it. Tomorrow night, I'm going to be joining the Fan Speak Network over on their channel at 10 p.m. Eastern time for some DGen dads. We're going to be, Bruni and Andrew and I are going to be talking week 4 best bets, looking at lines, looking at, plays for week 4. So I'm really excited to do that with them. And I thought in preparation for that, we'll do a little bit of week 4 preview tonight. Anyways, we're already looking ahead to the prime time slates. The Thursday night game, Seahawks at Arizona Cardinals, could be a fun one. Some moving parts there with James Conner going down and Torrey Horton popping off, really breaking out early. Some really positive signals from his production through the first 3 weeks, getting comped to Justin Jefferson. There was a presser with offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak, and he was smiling. He was comping Torrey Horton's breakout to Justin Jefferson. What a comp. I mean, aim high, why not? Yeah, Huham's saying they start next Thursday for the second quarter. I think it's a fun tournament. I think it's fun. Now we've got a lot of data, a lot of injuries to get through. I think it's tough. If you want to get some volume on that and get some real ADP value, you might draft a little bit early, maybe the last couple of weeks, just all during the course of the tournament being open. But these injury news, man, this stuff we got lately with CeeDee Lamb out, James Conner out, those would have been, I think, valuable pieces. Of course, CeeDee Lamb, first round pick, so that'll set you back a little bit. And then we continue to see bad performances by a Brian Thomas Jr. and some of these other pieces too. Also, it is officially Ryder Cup week. I'm pumped. I've been getting into the Ryder Cup content from all different sources, whether it's the Second Cut with Rick Gaiman or his own podcast, the Rick Run Good podcast. We got Kyle Porter from Normal Sport, been eating up his content. I've been looking through the Data Golf, profiles, and Bethpage Black in Long Island, New York this weekend. How we doing, Putt Daddy? It is the Ryder Cup. I'm excited. I'm so excited. Putt Daddy, did you see tonight? I think they had some dinners. You see the prom style photos they put out of the U.S. team. They're all rocking suits with white tennis shoes. I mean, couldn't be lamer than that. But the funniest thing, and it was Kyle Porter who tweeted this out. You have Xander and Bryson, the only two single guys on the U.S. team. So they're kind of just they're put right next to each other, like they're just called out being the only two single guys. It's kind of funny in the photo. It's all the wives and partners of the players, and those two guys just two knuckleheads, I guess. Yeah, the Euros do look tough. It's a very, I mean, the American team, honestly, both sides have never been deeper. There's never been more talent in the PGA Tour. Even though we have the whole live golf thing going on, those guys are obviously playing. Jon Rahm. We got Bryson DeChambeau. Man, the U.S. Ryder Cup team, it looks a little bit different, lacking Brooks Koepka and Jordan Spieth for the first time in a decade. So we'll have to get used to that. I'm pretty confident. Cam Young, he won I think it was the U.S. Amateur at Bethpage Black in 2017 when he was still in college or just out of college. And so he's ice cold around the greens. He's got some good history there. I'm pretty excited about it. The picks, yeah, you have to catch the picks. It's funny. It's going around, but yeah, and we'll have to talk some more golf as the week goes on. Putt Daddy, let me know if you got any best bets. What's your action you're getting into on this. I'm getting pretty pumped up though. Looking forward to the season. And without further ado, we have the one, the only, an extra special guest tonight, Hartman Fantasy Football. Let's bring him on and start talking some NFL football for week 4. What's up, dog? How we doing?
Oh, what's up? Doing good. How about you?
Hey, I'm doing good, better than ever. Trying to do better every day, my man. Yeah, how'd your thanks for joining tonight. How'd your week 3 turn out? We had, I mean, big hit for both of us, I think. CeeDee Lamb going down.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not anything more than what, 3-4 weeks, we're hoping, but that sucks.
Yeah, it sounds like probably around 4 would be. I'd be happy if it's just like 4.
Me too.
Um,
After what happened to
that'd
Nico
be.
Collins last season, and that kept dragging on. That really sucked.
I
And
I
on the
am I'm at least happy I have a lot of Pickens. That
Me
makes it
too.
feel a little better.
I have
Yeah,
equal amounts of Pickens, so there's pluses and minuses. On the plus side, Cam Scattaboo,
yeah.
complete breakout, completely blowing all of the haters away with that performance, just destroying the haters and showing what he's got. I mean, catching, I think he had 6 receptions, or was it 8? I mean, the dude on
6
prime
receptions,
time
yeah.
just going off and a stud and looking like, the next best running back in the league, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah, no, he looked great. I
Hell
mean,
yeah.
yeah, breakout game, true breakout game for Scattaboo,
That was
and,
sick. And it was
he's
it
gonna
was
get the
that
full runway with that
exactly. It was
injury.
that Sunday night game against the Chiefs, and it was just such a perfect time to break out in the spotlight, the national spotlight, and all that. On the other
Mhm.
hand, Caleb Williams has been coming on strong for the Bears,
Yeah,
and Roma Dunze is a big part of that. So the Roma Dunze truthers are definitely excited that he looks like
oh, yeah.
a top 10 receiver, in the league already this season.
Yeah, no, he's looking great. It's like he's just looking like Caleb's go-to guy, right? Like, and DJ Moore's looking fine. I think the offense as a whole just improving is kind of helping everyone, but it seems like Rome has kind of overtaken Moore maybe as the top guy, at least for Caleb.
That's kind of what I was thinking. I think we'll get to see something out of DJ Moore in a few of these games, but the consistent, reliable option going forward, the alpha, the top dog, it's going to be Romadunze almost certainly. And
Well, Well, and DJ Moore, he's never really been super consistent. Like he's kind of like a, mega spike player almost. Like he's consistent year over year, but week to week he hasn't ever been like too consistent. And last week,
facts.
he still had what 6 catches or 6 targets, 60, 70 yards touchdown. So,
Yeah, not
I
not
mean,
terrible. He needs to get those touchdowns to hit the scoreboard in a meaning or hit the lineups in a meaningful way. And he's
yeah.
just kind of flying under the radar. But as long as Caleb is putting up volume, there's going to be opportunity. The other piece of that I'm pretty pumped for is one, Luther Burden going
Yeah.
off for a 65-yard bomb score, hitting the lineups, raising the number of teams I have advancing in Best Ball Mania by a factor of 4. You know, just
Yeah.
like instant hit.
Well,
And I'm hopeful. I mean, he's not really playing that many snaps yet. I think he's still under 40% snaps. He hasn't eclipsed that in any of these games, but they can't deny this guy, right? They're scheming him plays, scheming him touches. So how you feeling about
it,
Burden going forward?
Yeah, I mean, I still think in like a managed or something, he'd be hard to start. But for a best ball, I mean, I think he has enough of a role where he has a chance to give you a spike any given week at this point. Because he's always dangerous with the ball in his hands, and even at a 40% snap share, that's enough to give you spike weeks like we just saw. He actually he helped me out a lot in the first quarter. I think he hit the lineup in 2 of my teams that
Nice.
advanced. Yeah.
Nice. I was just talking about the second quarter and maybe connecting with Who Hames in the next week because the second quarter, I could look at the fill rate. I'm pretty sure it's going to fill before next Thursday, where it would naturally close before the start of week 5. Well, yeah, before next week, before week 5. But it's
Mhm.
already 65% filled. And I want to say it was like 50% filled going into the weekend. So it's probably only going to be open for another, it might close by this weekend, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one I'm definitely gonna try to I'm gonna try to get in a good amount of volume before it closes, but I definitely want to wait till the absolute like last second. So it just depends if it looks like it's gonna be open after Sunday or not,
Right.
like for volume. But,
for sure. Yeah, I'd like to get some in though. He's got to wait through all these injuries, like the CD Lamb stuff, man. And CD was my most expensive pick in my home league, my managed league. So I've got Luther Burden on the bench. I'm going to be pulling him out. I'm probably going to start Luther Burden this week. It's between him, Mooney, and Shaheed. I need to just pick two for my wide receiver 2 and 3 now because I've got CD out, and I also have T Higgins, and I have to start him. So I'm just like I'm hurting at wide
Mhm.
receiver.
I I don't think I have CD Lamb in a single home league. I'm all about
Mm.
the running backs in the home leagues. I would
Well,
never pick a receiver in the first
it's
round.
auction, right? So I do have Gibbs and Bucky Irving and Ken Walker.
Oh, okay, okay. So that's
So
kinda
I'm
different
pretty
with the
stacked
auction,
there.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
my fourth running back is actually Dylan Sampson. And I think I might need to drop him this week because his utilization has just gone to zero with Judkins breakout. And I'm going to have to pick up another receiver to give myself more options, I think. So, I mean, on the waiver wire, it's like Tyquan Thornton, Trey Tucker, to name a few. Do I start one of those guys over Burden? Probably. Do I start one of those guys over Shaheed or Mooney? Maybe. I mean, Thornton's getting some good usage and a ton of quality downfield targets, right?
Yeah, he's definitely gonna be very inconsistent, I think, though, on a week-to-week basis. You know, I
Sure.
mean, he got the big chunk of his points on 1 catch last night, right? Or not
Yeah.
last night, last the game. But it was on a giant touchdown, which he has a chance with his role, and like you said, he's getting the volume where I think he's worthy of playing in that spot, but he's definitely gonna be a boom bust play every week, I think. And if
Yeah.
Worthy's back, then I think that role could shrink quite a bit, even if Worthy's only playing part-time.
I was reading between the lines about Worthy, his shoulder strap, his limited role. I think Worthy's going to be a less than 50% snaps guy, and I don't see him playing a lot of down the field stuff. I see him playing like around the line of scrimmage stuff until he's healthier, and we'll just have to see how that role evolves. So I'm somewhat excited about Thornton's like down, maybe his snaps get cut down a little bit, but being that down the field threat. And I think what I saw was through the first 3 weeks, Thornton has 7 deep targets, which, and maybe it's not updated. Maybe that was, I want to say it was through 3 weeks though. It had to be. And so that ranked like number 6 in the league. So he's like top 10 in deep targets. So it's not
Mhm.
consistent, but he's at least, he's in a, like you said, he's in a spot where that's kind of his role. So as long as the Chiefs are scoring and aren't in like complete negative matchups, then it might just come down to like you just want a piece of the Chiefs offense and you know, but then who is that actually getting the touchdown? Is it going to be Hunt or Pacheco? Is it going to be Kelsey or is it, right? So then who's actually getting that high value touch if it's not a deep bomb? They're
Yeah,
known
I
to kind of
mean,
spread around.
I feel like until the kinda, like, legitimate receivers are back, you're kinda just, like, boom bust risk every week with any of the skill position players. I mean, Travis Kelce, I think, he's kinda done unless he gets in the end zone like most kinda mid-tier tight ends. Hollywood, he's kinda it's kinda like all of them unless they get in the end zone. You're not really expecting too much. Same with the running backs.
True.
Um,
Yeah,
I think once Worthy or Rice are back, they'll be the valuable pieces, but
we just need Rice to come back, man. People are forgetting about Rice already. My
yeah.
question, my poll I threw in the YouTube chat, somewhat related. Another player coming back from suspension this week, one Jordan Addison. I mean, here's the thing. I already saw some coach speak on Jordan Addison. I don't know if you saw this yet. I think it was from Kevin O'Connell,
Mhm.
but they were saying like, yeah, he's been away from the team. Like, we're gonna have to ramp him in. Like, he's not gonna play every snap his first week back. Like, we need to work him in. Luckily, he's always been a hyper efficient player who can get it done with like big plays. So like he doesn't actually need the volume. But I think for this slate for week 4, if I'm starting him in managed leagues, I'm a little bit hesitant, especially with the Wentz situation and how good their defense and their run game's been. And then for these like slates like the primetime Palooza, I want to rank him really highly, but I think I need to bump him down just a little bit because of what I read.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like to me, I just view all Vikings like pass catchers. Like I'm feeling terrible about any Vikings pass catchers I picked in best ball, anything like that. I don't. I mean, I think Wentz is okay, but he's not anything special at this point. And JJ McCarthy, I never had much faith in him. Maybe he does. Maybe he does look good. I mean, he still only played like 2 games, but I was never a believer and proving it right. So I'm just
Mm,
gonna go with avoid all the pass catchers and BRs and whatnot.
damn.
That's at least my strategy.
Oof.
I'm
All
not. I'm
right. Well,
not
we got our
touching them.
first question of the night. We're doing Q&A. We're looking ahead at week 4. We're reviewing some of week 3, talking ball. Thanks for joining us tonight. Hope you guys are having a great Tuesday out there. Michael wants to know, start QJ. I mean, who's been on fire. Jacoby, we'll assume that's Jacoby Myers, who I'm actually a big fan of. We obviously saw Trey Tucker pop off in week 3, but could have easily been Jacoby Myers, in another day.
Mhm.
Then do I put Dobbins? So one of those two guys, honestly, we'll have to look more into the matchups. I think the Chargers are facing the Giants.
The
I like that
Giants.
matchup a lot. And then
The Raiders
Jacoby,
are facing the Bears.
yeah, the Raiders versus the Bears is not as good of a matchup necessarily, but we just saw Gino have a
You don't
bounce back game too, and it's a high point total. It's a 48.5 for the
you don't
Las
think
Vegas game.
aren't the Bears like an amazing matchup for
Are
receiving?
they?
Well, I mean I know they got shelled by the Lions.
The
Who
Lions
they
destroyed them, but I mean, I guess the Lions destroyed everyone, but they also got a matchup against the Ravens, which makes them look good because the Ravens were finding out have the worst defense, which is kind of crazy. But
yeah.
I don't know.
I
I don't know
guess
how bad the Bears are yet. I have to think
like
more about it.
JJ well, I just know they have like their main corner, he went on IR, right? The what's his name? Kyler Phillips. And then
Mm,
their other corner was dealing with an injury. I think he played last week though, but I'm not sure. Is it Jalen Johnson? Is that the other one?
right, Johnson. I think it's been some tough matchups for the Bears. Obviously, the
Mhm.
Lions torched them. The Cowboys didn't do a whole lot against them, but that was kind of a interesting game for the Cowboys. The Vikings
Yeah.
did well against them, but that was like the Vikings didn't do much for 3 quarters, and then the fourth quarter they popped off and the Bears let them go. So I feel like it's hard to know versus the Raiders, who have been I think I was just looking. Let me pull back up. The Raiders have been underwhelming, I'd say, for the most part. So
Mhm.
I think it's tough for me to have more confidence in Geno Smith consistency and then going up against the Bears, which I mean it does look to have one of the higher point totals of the week at 48.5. But I would just want I mean, how can you go away from Justin Herbert right now and Quentin Johnson, who's like the talk of the town?
Yeah. Um yeah, I'd probably lean Jacoby. I think
Yeah, it's very
I
close.
think it's to me it just has more chance of being a shootout because I think maybe the Chargers might kind of. I think the Chargers have a good chance to just kind of beat up on the Giants. Jackson Dart his first ever game. The Chargers have a pretty good defense.
That's true
Dart might make
too.
some mistakes, but Dart might look really good and it might be a shootout too. So I think the game script wise, the Bears game has a better chance of like being the game script for your receiver that works out.
Hmm. That's an interesting angle. I obviously have been thinking a lot about the Jackson Dart starting,
Mm,
but I wonder if Najee Harris going down for the season has any impact on their pass rate over expectation continuing to be like the highest in the league, even though they're not necessarily running the most passing volume, the Chargers, but like they still are going to be a pass heavy team. So I think I like them both. I think you can't go wrong. I would say the floor is definitely higher with Jacoby Myers, but I mean until we're proven wrong, if Quentin Johnson keeps it rolling, I mean he's been a stud. And then the part 2 of this one is Dobbins or Ken Walker in the flex. Dobbins does have the Bengals, and that's a Monday night game, if I'm not
mhm.
mistaken. I just had it up, but yeah, that's that Monday night game, the late one. And then for Ken Walker, it's the Thursday night game at Arizona. How you feeling about that there? I mean, Dobbins has been putting up some numbers, 3 straight touchdowns and some decent yardage. I mean, it's not bad.
Yeah, I'm probably leaning if Charbonnet. Basically, for me, it would be if Charbonnet's out, I'm playing Walker. If Charbonnet's in, I'm playing Dobbins.
I'm good with
For
that.
me, that would be the call.
But you have a lot of good options there. That's kind of good spot to be in. Wide
Oh,
receiver 2 or 3, and then your flex.
yeah, can't
Swavey
really go
JP,
wrong with
what's up,
those guys.
brother? He says, "Are you guys gonna trade Jalen Warren and Devonta Smith for Amon-Ra? Count
Yeah,
me in. Hell yeah,
yeah,
big hell yeah on that
100%.
one.
Yeah, oh
I
yeah,
mean, Jalen Warren's been doing great, but I mean, has he even scored a touchdown yet? Has
yeah,
he?
yeah. We've been over this. Yeah, he scored 1 week too.
He caught it. He caught a touchdown. It was a reception.
I think so. Yeah, that sounds right.
I'm gonna pull it. I'm looking into it because I mean, this guy. He had 6 career touchdowns coming into this year.
Yeah,
He's
I
got
think
no
he had like
rushing
100.
touchdowns.
How many yards did he have last week?
He does have 1 reception touchdown so far. Good for him. He's the leading receiver on the team as well. But that's kind of where the value comes in.
Yeah,
Last week on their box score, I'll pull it up. So the Steelers against the Patriots, low scoring event. The Steelers won 21-14. Jalen Warren had 2.6
no,
yards per carry. Okay. But
wait.
he for 18 carries for 47 yards. Terrible. But he had 5 receptions, 34 yards. So actually, I thought it was more than
Damn,
that.
I picked the wrong week. The week before, he had 86 receiving yards.
Yeah. It was me
I
too.
bet.
Because I'm trying to think. I guess I feel like I didn't see a lot of that Steelers Patriots game. I mean, that's
No,
that's
that
kind of the
game's
Jalen
tough.
Warren I expect.
Yeah, he's a better pick than Caleb Johnson. We'll leave it at that.
Damn, son. I know, right? And then Devonta Smith, of course, we love him. Heisman winner, a stud, but the Eagles just aren't throwing the ball that much. And Jalen Hurts he forgot how to throw passing touchdowns. So
Yeah, and you're getting. I mean, Amon-Ra already had like a mega spike week this year.
yeah.
It's that offense is rolling, and I don't know. He just has such a secure role. You're getting like an alpha player.
All right. Question for Hartman: rest of season, Amon-Ra, Jamar Chase.
Amon-Ra not close.
Hell yeah, we're on the same page.
Yeah.
You got to take new information. We gotta we gotta stay fluid, and there's more than just talent, availability, team environment, quarterback play, how many touchdowns a team is scoring per week. Like these things matter a
Yeah.
lot. The Lions are proving once and again to be the team that can score the most touchdowns, and that's what matters a lot for fantasy. You saw what happened with David Montgomery. Yeah, he put up a ton of yards too, but finds the end zone. And I mean, I think David Montgomery paid off in a huge way for teams last night. I know. So I don't know if you saw it in the Best Ball Barbecue Dynasty League. I went up against BP in an
Oh
eliminator
yeah.
this week. I was beating him by 15 points. And then he had David Montgomery go off for 28 or 29, and he beat me by where that delta is, 8 or 9 points, whatever. So, damn,
Damn.
he snuck
Yeah.
one out on Monday Night Football.
Well, he didn't do anything the first half either. He had like 2 carries. Crazy.
Yo, what's up, Mike? How we doing, brother? Got 30%
Yeah,
Pickens in Best Ball Mania, so hoping he steps up the next few weeks. Hell yeah, that's a good stand.
yeah, that's
I don't
nice.
think I made it to 30%, but I was right around 18 or 19 for a while, and I think it ended close to that, but it might not have been exactly 20%. How about you, Hartman?
BBM specifically, I had exactly 16 of Lamb and Pickens.
Okay. Yeah, I'm right. I was right around there. I was between 15 to 20% of both of them all summer long and kept it right there.
Yeah, I'm think I'm closer to 20 overall, like 18, 19, something like that.
Oh, my overalls, I think, yeah, I remember 19 for Pickens, and probably Lamb was 18 and a half. So like overalls, I was definitely a little bit harder, but in Best Ball Mania, I didn't want to miss out on some of the Bijan and Gibbs teams that, you'd have to sacrifice.
Yeah, yeah.
Good to see you, Mike. Hope your teams are doing well in week 3, brother. Huham says be filled by Sunday. I think that's a good for the second quarter. I think that makes sense.
It probably will be, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Suave. I think Warren's going to get fed. He is the fantasy asset you want on the Steelers. My question is just like, how much do you want to be starting a Steeler?
Yeah, well, and just I mean, you're getting an alpha level player unless it's leaving you so thin at receiver. That's a first round player. Like
Mm,
Warren surpassed expectations, but not to that level. Like you're getting so much higher of a ceiling with Amonra.
for sure. Brandon, what's up, brother? Would you guys trade away Egbuka and Ken Walker? Well, with Mike Evans out the next probably 4 weeks, I wouldn't be super
Oh.
excited. And we still don't know if Charbonnet is coming back. But to receive Brees Hall, Tyreek, and Keenan in full PPR, I think the answer for me is yes, because you're going to get access to a potentially higher ceiling with Tyreek than Egbuka. You're going to have a super high floor with Keenan Allen. It looks like he's obviously like he's replaced. Like we were worried, where I wasn't worried. I thought Lad McConkey could hold his own, but Keenan is actually kind of eating into that some of those targets, and that matters a little bit, especially in PPR. I think it's good. And then Brees Hall is way better in PPR than half point, and Ken Walker is still splitting work, even though Brees Hall also splitting work, not getting all the snaps and on the Jets. But I don't know. I think I would. What about you, Harmon?
Yeah, I'd take the Brees Hall Tyreek side because I think I prefer Brees to Ken Walker in full PPR just with his pass catching role. And then even if like Ken Walker maybe has if like Charbonnet's out, Ken Walker's true upside is a little bit higher, but Brees's pass catching gives you a nice floor and ceiling. And then Tyreek, big ceiling. Keenan's been great too. And that gives you a
True.
good flex play.
Yeah, I like, maybe you're losing Egbuka right when his value is about to go up even more, but Keenan Allen surpassed his expectation by a lot. He's a part of a great offense, the Chargers, of course. Tyreek is still relevant, and then Brees Hall, I think there's better days ahead. We'll see. What did Brees Hall do this week? I actually don't, off the top of my head, I can't remember how Brees Hall's week went. Was it decent?
I think he was like kind of mid.
It was kind of mid,
He
right? It
had
was,
9 for 21 and then 4 catches for 31. So pretty
yeah.
bad. Full PPR like a 9.
Yeah, and then Ken
Half
Walker
PPR
was
like
still
a
doing pretty
6.
decent, right?
Well, Ken Walker had 2 touchdowns. He actually kind of I don't think he was very efficient, but he had 2
He had like
touchdowns.
no yards, but he had the touchdowns.
Yeah. Yeah, because they were both like 1 yard touchdowns. Um,
What's up, Anthony? How we doing, brother?
what's
Hope
up,
your
Anthony?
week is going well, my friend. Thanks for stopping in.
Walker had 50 yards, 17 touches.
Yeah, 50 round down to 0. On how many touches was it?
17
Yeah,
or
oof. You
16.
do better. I want to see 100 yards on 17 touches.
Yeah. Well, that's
Then
what he
I'm
did week
excited.
2. That's what he did week 2. So he's been cooking. Ken Walker's been fine. Week one,
He's like a
week
little
one he
Eckler,
sucked.
except Eckler had a whole career arc where he was the RB1, and Warren doesn't know how to score touchdowns, and Eckler used to score
Well,
12 touchdowns a year.
Eckler had a year with like almost 20, right?
Yeah,
Eckler
he
was
like
like a TD
averaged 12.
machine in his prime. I will say though, he didn't really score early. Warren, he could be more like a James Cook. James Cook scored no touchdowns at all, and then he started to, and then he didn't stop.
I would say Jalen Warren is like a dollar store Cam Scattaboo.
Jalen Warren is like a dollar for Cam Scatterbu. Yeah, he's faster though.
Yeah, but you know what they say? It doesn't matter if you can catch him if you can't bring him down.
Oh yeah, I mean Cam Scatterbu is nasty. Peyton Hill is here. Got the
Gonna
same
leave,
Brian Dable. Brian Dable, Peyton Hillis is OC.
gonna leave us hit start for came in to read week 7. I mean, yeah, practically 7 minutes later, it's practically week 7, but that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
We just catch up. Yo, what's up, my dude?
What's
Toxic
up, your top
Tower,
guy?
Tyler in the house. Fun stream earlier. As always, good to see Tyler and BBG cutting it up, talking some ball. Fun as always.
Oh yeah. That's
So
always a
Hartman,
good time.
we can kind of like run through these games. I'm thinking we can jump into some primetime paloozas tonight as we answer more chat questions, Q&A. We can talk waivers and all the good stuff. I have
Mhm.
my typical write-ups, and I did slightly more editing this week, but there's still a good chance that I had something wrong in here because I tried to get one for every game. But I'm going to
Mhm.
run through the primetime Palooza slate games, the Thursday night, Sunday morning in London, and then Sunday night. And then I'll do one at a time and we can like react to them. And then we can either jump right into talking primetime Palooza strategy, player rankings, and then or we could just continue looking at the rest of the slate. How you feeling? What have you been prepping for this week so far, early in the week?
I did a couple like regular BRs, like I do some of the small side contests. I did
Yeah,
one dog bowl, but I
nice.
did just a couple like the engage a some of the main BR. I did like one primetime one, not many. What's up,
Nice.
Crispy?
Yeah. What's up, Crispy? How we doing, brother? Hope you're having a great Tuesday. Thanks for
You
stopping in
shave
as always, my friend.
you shaved the beard.
Oh yeah, new
You
profile
changed
pic.
yeah.
Very nice.
You-
He must have lost a bet with the Jets. No, I'm just kidding. Um, but yeah, Hartman, I was gonna say, who did you end up getting in your dog bowl?
who did I get at my dog bowl? That's a good question.
Man, this guy drafts so many
Um
teams, he doesn't even remember the ones he's drafted. Typical best
I
ball, bro.
honestly, like the BRs, like I don't know, I just kind of figure them out like as I go and then forget about them. I went
That's the strategy.
so in the dog bowl, I went Josh Allen, Omarion Hampton, Alvin Kamara, BTJ, Dalton Kincaid, and then last round I took Terry McLaurin. Just because I figured if he plays, I want him,
Late
but
swap.
yeah, if not, I picked him in the last round. So so I
Who's your
got him at like
QB?
6, 8 or something. Josh Allen. So I
Oh,
got second round QB. Yeah.
I
Yeah, I think
see.
I
I
went
see.
Hampton first round, then Josh Allen, then BTJ, then Kamara, and then Kincaid, Terry McLaurin.
I like that. I like that a lot, actually. And I think the Terry McLaurin play is interesting. The Obviously you can late swap him. It doesn't sound good. He's getting a second opinion on a quad strain or contusion.
Yeah, and I
Sounds
didn't
like
really know who I wanted to play, so it was like that was kind of part of it too, because there were only like 5 picks after me, and only two of them needed like a flex, so it was kind of like, like if I have to swap them, it's not really going to change my options much,
yeah, I would
you
just
know.
hate if he actually plays, but he's limited, and then like you can't swap him,
Yeah.
and he's just like he can't, he's not functioning. Like we saw Luke McCaffrey score and have a nice day, and I think that's directly the result of McLaurin, I think, being injured and potentially playing less snaps. I don't know if McLaurin was on the field at the same time, but I just assume I have to look more into it. But I assume that McCaffrey getting any kind of run is a signal that McLaurin is missing out on his target share with that injury.
Well, I'd imagine McLaurin had to get hurt on that giant touchdown, right? Like, because that was like his only catch, and unless it was just like a random play, but I'd imagine it was on that big touchdown
When did
catch.
that happen in the game? Was that first
That was pretty
quarter?
early. Yeah.
Yeah, I will say during that game in particular, where is that one? Was that the
Oh, or I guess it wasn't a touchdown. It was just a big
It
catch.
was just a big catch. I'm trying to see the recap of that one. Was that it was yeah, well, that was a noon game, wasn't it?
Yeah, that
That
sounds
was one of the
right.
noon games. I don't know, I was just gonna get into it, but there was so much action. I feel like I don't know. Anyway, lost my train of thought on that one, but I don't know. We'll have to see more with Terry McLaurin. Be interesting. Putt Daddy says with Cam emerging now, Cam Scatterboot, is Tracy worth a roster spot, especially since he'll be out a couple weeks? If he's not going to go to IR, so you can't put him on IR. If you need the extra roster spot and your waivers have attractive players, I would personally be cool with dropping him if you need to. I think
Mhm.
he can still be a hold, but I've never been a huge Tracy guy, and he wasn't very effective before he got injured. He was all right.
I I think if you can drop him for a guy that you think he'll start like immediately or next week within the next 2 weeks, you can probably do it. But if it's another stash guy, I would just be sure that you think the situation's better than what Tracy will come back to. Because I think that can be more debatable. But if you're gonna start the guy right away, it's probably worth dropping Tracy.
True. That's a good point because I think about that too for my personal bench stashes and like waiver wire. It's like, why even put a bid in on this guy or pick this guy up unless I can see that I'm going to be actually starting him? Is it really worth? Sometimes it is worth turning the roster, but
Yeah.
my 2 cents.
Yeah, I mean, I think it always is if like it just depends where I don't know where the situation looks like it's heading, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can get a better situation, then you always want to try to improve.
Yeah, Putt Daddy, who are you thinking about picking up? Let us know. We can kind of give you if you give us like 2 or 3 options you're thinking about, we can kind of see if we would maybe do that or if we'd pass.
Oh
Brad
yeah.
McCoy says 0-3. Ooh, yikes. Got CD and Rice. Other receivers got Garrett Wilson, so that's good. Ladd could be better, but so far a little bit underperforming. JMO good. Hollywood hits and misses. RBs are
Mhm.
Kyron, Bryce, ETN. I mean, ETN's been solid. Ferg has been nice. I would keep starting Ferg over Hawk until further notice, especially with CD out. And then should I sell one if not both CD and Rice? If so, what for? I mean, if you're 0-3, you really can't afford to lose any more games. So
Mhm.
I think you do need to figure out how to get rid of it. I would say get rid of probably CD if someone who's doing well can afford him. That we don't know how long he's going to be out for, and it could just keep getting worse and worse. We at least know that Rice is healthy and he's going to be back in week 7, right, Hartman?
Yeah, week 7.
So I think Rice is more valuable than CD currently, actually, which is kind of like weird, but like probably true.
I would personally try to just bundle one of them with like ETN to get like an elite RB if you could, or an elite receiver. Like if you can get like a top tier piece for like CD plus like ETN. I just view ETN as
Mm,
your lowest of your 3 running backs. So like CD plus your lowest running back, and maybe you get a bigger running back, or like CD plus like Hollywood or something, and you get a big receiver or something like that. Or
that's
you could
smart.
trade away like CD and a tight end if someone needs a tight end. Because you have
There,
two. Hawk could actually be a pretty good sell. He just scored a touchdown. He has the
yes,
name value. Hasn't really looked great with his role. Addison's about to come back. Sell CD and Hawk. Try to get an upgrade with a guy who's going to hit your lineup and really give you points right away.
100% agree. Sell high on Hawk, sell high on ETN, and you're good with Ferg.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, CD's not going to do anything for you now, and maybe he'll do something for you in the playoffs, but you got to get there. So in managed leagues, it's tough.
Yeah, get there, bro.
You got to get there, bro. One of those guys. Thoughts on Trey Benson rest of season? So Trey Benson, I was looking into his stats today on player profile. Let's go ahead and pull this one up. Let me pull open the tab. I always have it open. It's
Shoot,
why is it not open the minute I need it?
shooting from the hip, low end RB2,
Low end RB2. That is kind of the range I'm thinking.
mid to low
I I
RB20.
think he can be good though. I think he can be good, but I think the hype right now is higher than it's ever going to be.
Well, yeah, I mean James Conner just got hurt, and we haven't actually seen him get a big workload yet, right? It's all the
Yeah,
potential right now. He has all the
he's
potential in
literally
the
never
world.
had an opportunity to have a big workload. So I don't think like we can look at his historical game logs. Like, what do you think the most touches
What,
he's ever had in a single game is?
12 or 13? James
That's
Conner
right.
missed like 1 or 2 games last year, so probably one of those. But
Yeah,
Amari DeMarcado got like half the touches too.
exactly. And he still might, even though I don't think Mercado's like played hardly at all this season at all. So here we
He
have
only got like
Benson.
1 carry last week.
Uh, Obviously he's good in college, Florida State. third round draft pick, good size, speed, and hadn't done a lot last season. Right, 13 games, he only had almost 70 touches for
Mhm.
about 350, 7 touchdowns, or not 7. Sorry, uh, 6 receptions, 1 touchdown. So like very sparingly used. James Conner was the guy last year. This year though, he's on
Could
pace for much
oh, go
more
ahead.
already before the injury. Yes, Hartman?
Could we see his game log from like last year? I
Yes.
just want to see like was there one or two games where he got like a pretty good snap share? Because
Yeah.
I think at least one, but yeah,
This
pretty
is
expensive.
his current explosive plays. I don't, because it's a small sample size still, but he's looking like a pretty good runner this season to start. For his historical game logs, go to 2014 and go over to there. So the game was, I'm going to lock in my answer. I'm looking up. I'm not looking. I'm going to lock in my answer. I think the most he ever touched the ball was, I would just say like 10 times. Hartman was saying 11 or 12. Okay, I'm wrong. Yeah, there he had 12 in week 2. But I mean, he did nothing with it, right?
And also 12 in week 10.
12 in week 10. There's another one. 55 total. I mean, he's never had a 100-yard game.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he had 87 total yards on those 12 touches in week 10. That's not terrible. That's getting
That's
close
pretty
to
good.
good.
Yeah. But his snap share never went over 29%.
Yeah, that's what I remember too, is he just like I think though his carry like his share of like carries is higher than his snap share ever was. So like they just weren't using him if
Yeah.
he's not if he's getting snaps, he's getting carries. Like he's not just out there like, you know, catching balls at all
Right.
or
That
pass
makes sense.
blocking.
Yeah.
That's just what I remember, and maybe they use DeMarcado more in that way. But to start this year, yeah, still, and I guess they don't have week 3 in here yet in a
Mhm.
meaningful way. And that's what I was thinking. The explosion metrics looked kind of weird. All the players that I looked at earlier today, they don't really have their week 3 in yet. But yeah, I mean, still though,
Uh,
week 1 was pretty
yeah.
decent for him.
So Trey Benson, this is the Google AI overview for what it's worth. Trey Benson 40 out of 61 this past week. James Conner 20 out of 61. DeMarcado 7 out of 61 for just
Yeah,
snaps. Yeah.
yeah. DeMarcado has not been playing much. And this is only through 2 weeks, apparently, is what we just learned. But the one thing that stood out to me, his yards per touch is pretty nice. Number 8 among running backs. Yards
Mhm.
created per touch is number 1. So he is doing some work there. And also has number 1 game script, which, these light front carry rates low, number 1 there. Shotgun carry rate's pretty good. Like, so there's some intriguing things. I just don't think he's the full package. I don't think he gets the workhorse role. I think his upside is like super capped, and he has been really efficient, but I just wonder if that efficiency comes down a little bit if he's forced into playing more snaps. And then, I mean, bullish side of me would say he has been a really efficient. Maybe he can produce and put up some big numbers and have kind of like a Jordan Mason-esque like outcome. But then the bearish side of me is saying like he probably doesn't get you anywhere near what James Conner was doing. He's probably like 60 to 75% James Conner.
Yeah. I mean, I think that seems pretty fair. Because I think he'll get a similar workload probably to what James Conner was getting, but yeah, he's just not going to be as efficient as James Conner was. I don't really think that's in the cards for him. Um, but I think since he has speed, at least he might have some weeks that are like true like slate breaking and stuff. I could see that if he's getting like a pretty big role.
Right. But yeah, good question. Rest of season. So we're kind of thinking low end RB2 is reasonable.
Yeah.
So Pud Daddy was saying for Tracy, he could pick up Ollie Gordon.
I if
Uh,
okay when Tracy was healthy, you were never even like really thinking about playing him. then just pick up your own handcuff. That's probably better anyway. Because like if you have really good running backs or really good flexes, then even if Tracy takes over the role, it's like that's just the Giants backfield role. It's probably not that great. Like you'd probably rather just have your own handcuff, I guess. Um I don't know. I'm not really big
I'm not
on
sure.
handcuff my own guys in redraft in general though.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm not really sure. Suave says, I want Rashi Rice so bad, but the owner is 3-0 in my league. Yeah,
Yeah,
stuck
no
on
chance.
that one, right? He's got you good. Hey, smash the like. Hey, make sure you guys smash the like. Do it for Anthony. He's driving home, and appreciate you listening in as always, my man. Don't forget to
Smash
smash
the
that
like
like
if you
button.
want him to get home safe.
Yeah, if you don't like this stream, you're putting Anthony's driving at risk. Okay, don't do that to him. He's a good guy. And what else? Oh, also say vote in the poll because I'm gonna close the poll eventually. But Jordan Addison in out. What are you guys thinking? Demarcardio ruin his. It looks like he wrote Demarcardio like he's just like out there running cardio but not really getting touches, which is kind of funny the way to read it. But
How
ruin his
how do
chance though.
you
Yeah,
how do you ruin his chance?
I'm sure who Hames knows. I was thinking
Did he fumble or something?
yeah, I was thinking he's gonna say something about fumbling or just
He,
what did
I
he
mean,
do
he might
last
have.
year?
I was genuinely asking.
What did he do
Uh,
last year? I can't remember. Did something bad.
mm,
FK,
yeah,
what's up,
probably.
brother? Says it was 75-25 split when Connor went down. Kind of think that's how it stays. Yeah. The 26-year-old UDFA, 23-year-old third round pick in Card's best interest to make Benson work. I think so. It's just can he kind of fill Connor's shoes? Maybe. He might be close to as good as Connor as a runner. I just don't think he has the pass catching upside, but I'm happy to be proved wrong. We'll kind of stay fluid on this one. Also, how much do you want the Cardinals pieces right now? Like, I don't know.
And they're fine. I think with the Cardinals pieces, like I feel almost the same as when I drafted them. I maybe feel a little bit worse about McBride and a little bit like better the same about MHJ. And
Better?
then
Oh,
obviously I'd say like the same. I don't know. At least I don't know. Like it
he's
feels
been
like
pretty bad.
picking him near the end of the third feels like it was okay. Like it
There's
doesn't
a
feel
lot of
like
games left.
terrible.
Things can change. Yo, what's up, Philly Mike OG? How we doing, my friend? Hope you're having a good Tuesday night. Kirk Cousins named the starter for week 4. I call bullshit. Typical Philly Mike OG bullshit. There's no way. Don't even
The-
look. Hartman, close your tab. We're not looking
So
it up. This is
so
bullshit.
do you think maybe Romo Dunze is a talent elevator and
Yes,
and that's what caused Michael Penix to be so good at
you got it.
Washington?
That's the thesis right now.
Yeah. It's the only thing adding up right now.
That's the only thing that could ever make sense. Is actually Roma Dunze the whole time, and we got fleeced.
Yeah. I mean, he went the highest in the draft, in the real draft, out of all of them.
He went ahead of Penix by one pick
I think, right?
or
Didn't
2 or
Rome
3
go
picks.
sixth? Didn't Rome go sixth overall? Or did he go eighth
Um,
overall? I might actually have been
I
lying.
thought Rome was 8 or 9, but I'll put up now. I'm gonna Google it. I'm gonna put it in. Yeah, Rome went
Yeah.
at 9, and
Penix went at like 8 or 7. I probably lied.
Penix went 8. Ooh, Hartman with the
Yeah.
fake news.
Yeah. Even with the QB bump, he beat him by one spot.
Yeah, so
They traded up and it's the Falcons though, so it doesn't really count.
yeah, Hartman
But
with some more Roma Dunze propaganda, trying to act like he got drafted ahead of Michael Penix Jr. False.
yeah, he should have. That was
Yeah,
one of those like what should the teams have done type,
yeah,
type
true.
thing.
We'll
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see what how the rest of the season goes. People have
No,
been
I
pretty
actually like Penix.
critical.
I think yeah.
He looks bad to start, but I mean he's only this is like what his 5th, 6th start of his career, so there'll be better days ahead. Week 1 didn't look terrible. a rushing touchdown, a passing touchdown. Week 2, pretty blah. Week 3, terrible against Carolina. But he's played the Bucks, which he did a good job of putting up numbers against the Bucks. He was a top 10 quarterback that week. He got destroyed by Minnesota, who hasn't really. And then he just got destroyed by Carolina. But that, I don't know if that's just because it's a divisional matchup. They had his number. They were just more prepared. Who knows? He still has weapons around him. Bajan, London, Mooney, even Pitts, Algier. Their defense looking solid. I guess their offensive line is a little bit suspect, is what I guess I was hearing partially. So,
They have a bunch of guys injured on their own line.
so what? Let's look for better days ahead for Michael Penix. I think we can get there.
Yeah. Well, and I think London's injury too. I mean, that's kind of his go-to guy. I think that definitely hurt a lot because week 1 he gave London 15 targets.
Yeah, that's always fun. Draft and drive.
Yeah, hell yeah. Every day. It's a lifestyle.
Yeah, that's the soccer Dave way.
That was my way.
Don't
I
do
mean,
drugs, kids. Draft and drive
adopted.
instead.
Yeah.
Pete's intro. Yeah, one touch, one fumble, I think. Was that this year so far? Do Mercado had a fumble this year? I just wasn't aware. I know he hadn't played a lot yet.
He had 1 carry last week, so it probably was.
Oh,
Had 1
shit.
carry, 1 fumble.
Yikes. FK says, not that big of a Benson believer for what it's worth. Just feel like an okay contingency bet this offseason. I think he's squarely in the conversation. I think he was priced well all summer. He was squarely in the conversation of like medium upside contingent bet. Not as good as Charbonnet. Not as interesting as some of these rookies. Scattaboo, etc., Tootin, but kind of in that range where do you want him? Did you want Najee? Did you want Braylon Allen at the end of the day? So like I think that's it's we'll see. He could, I mean, it's just guys get hurt and then the backups end up paying off more than you would expect. And I think he might be able to capitalize. I think he's good enough to capitalize on it. I will say that.
Yeah, I mean, I think his price was pretty good as like the clear-cut guy behind an older running back. James Conner's been decently healthy the last couple of years, like not missed many games, but dealt with nagging stuff. But yeah, I mean, older running back, he's obviously going to be higher risk for injury. So I think Benson's price was good, and then obviously the run out ends up being really good.
Yeah.
I didn't pick much, unfortunately. I just went for more rookie swings. Jaden Blue, lots of Jaden Blue. That worked out.
Yeah, it'll still work out. We'll see.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Not how Javonte looks. It won't.
Yeah. Well, yikes.
The beast.
I don't have much Benson either. I had a lot of Connor. At one point, I had 15% Connor, but I looked today. I think it was 11.5. So like I didn't get too heavily into Connor because there's still some other good picks that were going around him. But also I did go way over the market on guys like RJ Harvey and Travion Henderson, who at one point were going around Connor. So like, probably those guys are still better picks than Connor at the end of the day because they're active.
Yeah, I was actually kind of surprised. I had like 3 or 4% Benson, depending on like I think 4% just in like overall stuff, and then I only had 6% Connor, which I would have thought I was like at fielder overweight, but I just ended up underweight on him, which I think I was picking Trevion a ton, and then like obviously I love Rome and Ricky, and they were kind of in that range. And I got in on Debo a bunch, so it's like some of those 6th round guys I just liked a lot. Those are some of my heaviest guys.
I think my heavy Debo stand in the late July, August part of the season is what saved me from being too much in on Connor because I went from 7% Debo to 15.5% Debo, like real quick.
I was probably right. Like almost the same exact thing happened to mine.
Yeah. Yo, what's up, Galaxy? He says, trade worthy and Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, aka Bill, for Arroyo McMillan and Caleb Williams. Yes. Yeah, I'm in for that. You have Nix, you have Lamb. So you do need another alpha receiver to replace Lamb. McMillan can be that for you. even with Worthy going to be playing, I think he's still limited, and I'm pretty skeptical. You can get rid of Bill. I think we're cool with that. Caleb Williams seems like an upgrade to Bo Nix. And if you have K9, then you're good. I'm just thinking who else is your other running back, but you have Ladd,
Yeah.
Romadunze, Addison Hawkinson. You're honestly good with Ladd, Rome, and Addison. You're going to be good with T-Mac. It's a slight upgrade over Addison most weeks, and potentially competing with Ladd, for who's next on your lineup without Lamb. I think
Oh,
you.
he has Jonathan Taylor also. He
Oh,
said,
he's got JT. Oh, you're looking good then. Yeah, I'm
yeah,
pretty cool with making this trade.
yeah, I would definitely do the trade then. If you have two solid running backs, then it's worth it for the upgrade at receiver and at QB.
Smart.
You can even just play matchups with that. Nix and Caleb gives you two strong options.
I like it. Play the sophomore quarterbacks. Brad says, "What about Lamb for London?" Ooh, question for Hartman.
Yeah, I would definitely trade for London because he's the one. He said he started 0-3, right? That's the same one.
Yeah, that's what Brad was saying.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I would definitely do that because I think London, you're getting him at a little bit of a buy low. And Lamb, you're selling him at fair value, but just where your team is, it works out better.
Who Hames was saying DeMarcado was this weekend. Okay, I didn't see it live. I guess I didn't catch that one. I know it was the
I
afternoon
didn't know
slate, and I
either.
was out and about. I was out of town this weekend, but I was listening to Red Zone on my phone as I was doing multitasking. So like the memories are just like all over the place of what was actually going on. So I definitely didn't catch that. Plus, I don't think they just show every fumble on Red Zone. So I probably wouldn't have seen it anyways. But
Oh yeah, probably
yeah,
not.
for this trade, Lamb for London, the best ability is availability. You got to start someone. You need an alpha in your lineup to try to come back from that 0-3
Mhm.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it was just honestly like for me, it was just a lack of really like belief in Benson, I guess.
yeah.
And just like liking some of the rookies around him, which like some it worked out. Like I picked some Tootin probably over Benson, but also at some points I probably picked Jaden Blue over Benson, which doesn't feel as great, right? Tootin over Benson feels fine, but maybe equal or whatever. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Just
That's fair.
different, different preferences.
That's fair. Don't forget to slap that like button, smash it, whatever you have to do. Hit the like button, make sure you're subscribed, and turn notifications on if you want to know when we're going live. Uh, Usually a pretty consistent schedule. Tuesday nights, Wednesday nights, and then sometimes Friday nights during in season right now. And then during the summer, I stream best ball drafts all summer long. I'll be getting into some golf content in a few months too, which will be real fun. Just something different, but we'll still be talking ball. I mean, this is like this is December, January during the NFL season still, but throwing in some golf, some fantasy golf in there as well. And then we hit it hard starting up back in essentially it could be as early as January, but probably most likely full schedule again in February. We do year round best ball drafts and talking football rookies. I mean, part of the most fun of some of the most fun parts of the summer is before the rookies get drafted and we're just speculating and comping and looking at guys and the guys coming out of college. And that's like a really fun part of it too. Big board season is always fun.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, the big board. Like yeah, some of those teams are fun to look back at. Like
15% Torrey Horton. Feeling good about that.
yeah. I feel worse and worse as it goes about all my RJ Harvey shares. It's like it was
Oh,
sick
damn.
before and then now JK Dobbins is just, you know, JK Dobbins going crazy, which I love to
Yeah.
see. Even
But
whether I
just
have JK Dobbins or not, I want him to succeed. I also got bags of JK Dobbins, so I want him to
true.
succeed.
I didn't end up with as much Dobbins as I thought I would have had. But
Neither did I
all of the
after
teams I
being
have him
cut.
on is like he's like priced around like 180, 190, pick 170 at the very like I barely got him when he was going around pick 100, pick 90, which he's still paying off that. So I wish I had a little bit more. But I holding out hope for Harvey that this Dobbins success is a signal that when Harvey does take over more snap share, if he can get there, like it's going to be a good spot, right? Which was the whole thesis we had was like it's a good spot to be in. He just needs to get the work, but Dobbins is holding down the role. And man, Sean Payton's being kind of a pain in the ass to figure out for fantasy.
Uh, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Sean Payton just always kind of works like that, right? And also, I feel like the Broncos offense has, they've been kind of up and down, like, and mostly just down. So I feel like maybe if Bo Nix gets in a little bit better rhythm, that could kind of just be good for everyone. And it's not like
Yeah,
they've looked terrible. Like Bo Nix has looked pretty bad, but that could just be kind of a slow start, kind of a sophomore like slump to start out the year. Maybe he breaks out of it with Sean Payton's kind of scammy offense.
sure. We got a question from Arjun here. He says, he's 2-1, so he's doing pretty good. 12-man league. He's got Lamb. Everyone's got Lamb these days. I mean, I've got Lamb. Everyone in the chat's got Lamb. Dude,
Well,
we're down bad. We
ev-
got Lamb,
everyone,
Wilson.
everyone desperate to make a trade as Lamb. Who would have thought? Why?
Yeah,
Why is my wide receiver room weak now? What happened?
yeah.
His wide receiver room's not even that bad. But go
I
ahead.
like it
Sorry.
actually. DJ Moore, Higgins is in the bad spot with the Burrow injury, but they just
Mhm.
faced the Vikings. Like it'll get better. Mims doesn't do much for me. DJ Moore's good. Marvin Harrison Jr. we think is fine. Wilson we love. We don't love, but like we like. I would say
Mhm.
Achan, Bill, and Mason. Yeah, fire up Mason. Don't ever sit Mason again. But you already know that. And then you got offered a trade Achan for Walker and JMO. I don't think I want to give up Achan. What about you, Hartman?
No, because your RBs are way thinner than your receivers. If anything, you give up like a big receiver to get something else. Like, and either way, I think you're pretty well balanced with good upside. I probably wouldn't really trade most of that core. Um, yeah,
Achan's your best player. Don't forget to hold on to him or
yeah.
don't think you have to get rid of him to trade down for Walker and JMO. I think you'll be fine.
When you have good depth at receiver, there's no point to trade down like that. You want to consolidate if anything.
Uh Suave says trade Warren. I'm assuming Jalen Warren for Keon Coleman and Omarion Hampton. Yeah, smash.
Yeah, easy.
Because
Easy Hampton side.
I would take Hampton for Warren straight up. I would want Hampton.
No, it's Warren and Keon for Hampton.
Oh, that's what I was saying. I was like, I
Yeah,
got
still.
confused. Still, I want the Hampton side. Yeah, because
Yeah,
Coleman is
easy.
so hard to figure out when to start him.
Yeah, people aren't probably really going to value Warren like that, Jalen Warren like that. If they are, you should definitely take it. Najee just tore his Achilles. Like, runway is clear for Hampton to go crazy.
Yeah, Hampton
Like,
might not have been the biggest success through 3 weeks compared to what his price was at the end of the season and where you might have drafted him, but we're still holding on to hope that he's in one of the best offenses. And
Najee's out for the year. I mean,
yeah,
that
exactly.
alone.
That helps too. Putt Daddy says, I'm ready to trade Derek, the fumbler, Henry for anyone who can hang on to the ball. Damn, dude. I'd never thought I would see fantasy football Twitter turn on Derek Henry so fast. All it took was 2 fumbles in prime time and he's gone.
Yeah, well, 3 games in a row though total.
Yeah,
But
people are
yep.
hating on Henry. I'm starting
What?
to become like I'm like it's that whole graphic where it's like I used to be in center and then the left or the right went so far and now I'm the other, I changed political sides. It's like
Mhm.
I used to be on the opposite side of Derrick Henry. Now everyone else is so far away from him that I'm actually a Derrick Henry bull now.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it is. I mean, I think the thing with Henry, he's just still one of the best running backs and like fumbles. I mean, for real life, yeah, it seems like it's hurting the Ravens. But in fantasy football, fumbles are what -2. That's not too much
Doesn't
for
matter
Derrick
too
Henry.
much. Also, I
Yeah.
think they're pretty fluky. Like
Yeah.
the
Unless
odds of
you're
him getting
Ramondre.
punched out. I mean, it's more likely he's going to be tackling people head on most of the time, and he's not really. I guess he got caught from behind, so Sometimes he gets caught from behind, but like not always. And I mean, the dude is still he can
Well, that
break
was
a
like
slate. So
at the line of scrimmage too, because they just like wrapped around like the edge of the line, so he didn't really get up to speed or something and get caught. It was like short area. He was kind of trying to find a hole still.
dude, listen to us. We're Derrick Henry bulls all of a sudden.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I was watching that game very close.
That was a
Lions
fun one.
homer.
Me too. Wasn't that just last night?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no,
I
that
got
was
I
that
got
was a fun game.
well, I was driving home and from being out of town last night, and so I was listening as I was driving, and then I got home to catch the fourth quarter, but the Lions had been putting up huge numbers at that point. So,
Hmm.
but no, I was such a I mean, fun for the Lions.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was
Definitely.
okay for certain parts of the Ravens, but like overall, Zay Flowers did nothing. Henry obviously fumbling, and then it was a big Mark Andrews game, Lamar game. Bateman finally
They,
looked decent.
they had the Lions like plus 313 on the money line. Ridiculous,
Nice.
ridiculous. The disrespect to the Detroit Lions.
That's crazy. Yeah, much
I would
more
trade.
complete team. Yeah,
I
what's
would
up,
trade a
Billy?
whole. Hey, what's up, Billy?
Would trade my Connor for Harvey. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. It's
I'd trade my Connor for QJ.
oh yeah, yeah.
I mean,
GM. How we doing, Billy? How's your week going, brother? Hope your matchups went well in week 3. Even Mary had a little lamb. Oh, very punny. We all got lamb. Won an Elam matchup by less than 2 points, so the fumble saved me. That's
damn,
insane.
nice.
Nice. That's funny that it happened. It's even funnier that you noticed it, but you probably were like watching as it like, probably, the last slate of the week. So that's how you kind of see, or the last game of the slate, the weeks, that's how you kind of see those scores come in.
When you can see which ones like they still have people left and stuff on the BBMDB.
Yeah. Shout out BBMDB. Galaxy says, do you guys think CeeDee Lamb comes back full strength? I think the best thing for him is to rest the full time. I don't think he comes back full strength. A high ankle sprain, as one Matt Kelly would always say on his podcast, high ankle fucked. So this guy, CeeDee Lamb, this is gonna be a nagging thing for at least the near term. Could he still get back to full strength and put up his big fantasy numbers by the end of the season? Sure, but I I think consensus in the chat is like if you drafted CeeDee Lamb, you're probably doing decent. There's a good chance you're 2-1 or 3-0. Maybe you're unfortunately, on the losing side and you have to make some trades and you have to make some like I'm not trading CeeDee Lamb right now.
I
I'm
mean,
gonna hold him,
he
but
didn't
I'm
even have a
2-1 in my
touchdown
league.
yet.
What's that?
He didn't even have a touchdown yet this year, and he just got to a 0 week 3. You might not be
Yeah,
doing so hot. You pick CeeDee Lamb.
that's true. Actually, I take that back. You're right, because I guess I got bailed out because I've got I have
Jonathan
Gibbs, so I have 2
Taylor or
first round
something.
picks, and I kind of didn't notice it as much. I did lose my week 3 matchup by 7 points, and getting 0 from CD hurt, and getting whatever it was 2 or 3 points from T Higgins also hurt. Ah,
I think the one thing I guess maybe like I need to research a little better to know for sure. I mean, to me, it's like if I have CeeDee Lamb, like yeah, I just got CeeDee Lamb, guess I'll hold him. But like if he's resting 4 to 6, aren't his odds of coming back like close to full strength pretty good when he's resting like up to 6 weeks? Because isn't that kind of like the time frame where if they return in like 3 or 4, then it takes a couple more and then they're kind of back to full.
I'll
Like
have to do
6
more
weeks is
research on
pretty
it.
long.
They have a week 10 bye, so it's not like he gets to rest, during his bye either. So that's kind of unfortunate.
A week 10 bye. Well,
Mm-hmm.
if he misses 6, right? Or oh no. Yeah. Or
He'd miss
I guess
6
he'd have
and
to
then have a
miss like
bye.
7.
So CD is going to be out for anywhere from 4 to 7 weeks is my read on it. And it's like, what are you going to do for the next 7 weeks? you're going to be out of your fantasy playoffs. That's what you're going to do.
Loan leverage. Oh, for
What's that?
redraft?
Loan
Yeah, for
leverage.
redraft, redraft, you're screwed. Yeah, trade them.
Yeah.
Trade them while you can. No, it's just the tier, Like he's splitting work with Gainwell. He's looked good so far, but and I'm a Jalen Warren truther. I had like 23% in the best ball, but like he's splitting work with Gainwell. Hampton has a clear runway to be like an RB1. He's a first round running back, and Keon has like one nice week. So like Hampton has a chance to be a clear RB1. Warren, he'll probably be like a mid RB2 maybe if he holds on to the role all year. And
To
that's,
me, it's even simpler
yeah.
than that. It's like, do you want the Chargers or the Steelers? Just give me the Chargers.
If one Steeler is getting all the work, I don't think it'd be too far off. I mean, they've run it like more than 20 times a game. The Chargers run it like 10 times a game. They're the
Yeah.
pass heaviest team in like the NFL.
I want touchdowns.
Yeah, they're all going to QJ though. There's one flaw. One fatal flaw. They all go to QJ.
There's a glitch in the matrix. Quentin Johnson is him in year 3.
Yeah, for real. And Javante's back. It was actually 3 years removed from the knee injury. Who would have thought that narrative was right?
Who Hames, one of the Turpin truthers, is coming out. But here's the funny thing. All the Turpin guys are excited because this is his time to shine, and he's still not going to matter.
Should have picked Jalen Tolbert, buddy.
Tolbert season. Get ready to learn Tolbert. And Fergus. It's Fergus season for sure. Like, no doubt. I think the dude has like the most targets on the team.
Probably. I mean, he had like 13 last week or something.
Big numbers.
Crazy. Yeah.
If you have lab, consider taking up best ball. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
already
paid off.
Yeah, it's.
But you should have taken Trey Tucker.
Oh, look at this! Look at this great profile picture. The Hound House. What's up, brother? I'm not sure if this is a guy or a dog, but it's a really cute dog. I was offered Hubbard, K. Dotton, Evan Ingram. Who's offering you 2 tight ends? And then Chargers
like 2 droppable tight ends.
I know. For Trey Benson, who's, everyone's hyped on. Hawkinson, an actual starting, start-worthy tight end, although borderline in 10 or 12 team leagues. And Bills DST, do I accept? I don't think I want to get rid of Hubbard, although he's going to split a little bit of work with Dowdle. Or no, you're getting offered Hubbard.
Yeah.
Well, I think I don't want to get rid of Trey Benson or Hawkinson is the main thing.
I think Bills DST is pretty solid so far, right? They have a lot of sacks, but they give up a lot of points. I don't know. I don't know DST scores. I'm gonna keep it real. But yeah, I'd probably keep the Trey Benson, TJ Hawkinson because I think Ingram's looked really bad and K. Dotton's like borderline droppable. TJ Hawkinson, even though he hasn't looked great, I don't really think you're getting the value out of him. I think Hubbard is a little bit better than Benson, but I think they're pretty comparable plays at this point. I mean, Rico Dowdle stealing goal line work, and right. I would argue that the Cardinals are a better team overall. So I just lean keeping your guys, Benson, Hawkinson, Bills.
That's enough for me. Good looking dog though.
Oh yeah.
Thoughts on K9 in that backfield up yonder? I'm excited about K9. I'm starting him in my flex right now in my home league, half point PPR, 10 team, pretty deep. Starting super flex, 3 wide receivers in a flex. So all that to say, there's going to be some weeks where Charbonnet's better, but he's injured right now, and I think K9's getting the work. They look like a competent offense, a good defense. Any other thoughts there, Hartman?
I mean, in my primary home league, the hardest decision I have every week is Breece Hall or K9. Ooh. I've been leaning K9, and
nice.
I'm really high on K9. If Charbonnet's ever out, auto start RB1. If Charbonnet's in, I think he's still a very solid flex play or even RB2 on your team.
Mm,
Maybe
yeah,
a little bit more matchup dependent if Charbonnet's in.
yeah. Make sure y'all smash that like button and don't forget to check out Hartman's channel, Hartman Fantasy Football. Socials below. You can subscribe to his YouTube channel. He's a best ball bro. He's a ball knower. And we've been drafting teams all summer long. We're co-managing a high stakes team together on the FFPC. And so make sure you check out his channel as well and his socials. You can follow him on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter at FFB Garage. All the socials and things linked below. But appreciate y'all's questions tonight. We're doing live Q&A. We're looking ahead to week 4. We're going to draft some best ball teams here shortly. A few more questions to get through, but thanks again for being here, chatting, talking ball with us. Appreciate the questions and the likes and the subscriptions. Y'all are you have some good questions here. This is some good content. Getting into week 4, all these decisions we have around the major injuries. It's been a lot of Trey Benson talk, been a lot of CeeDee Lamb talk. So that sums it up right there. And then Hound House wants to know, would you do 1-for-1 Genty for Chase Brown? I mean, damn, talk about a hard question. That is 2 of the biggest letdowns so far. But do you want to go with Chase Brown, who's like the biggest letdown and lost his quarterback, or Genty, who should continue to get better and better as the year goes on? I think I want Genty on this part, on this half. How about you, Harbin?
Genty, easy, not close.
Yeah, it sucks. Chase
Chase
Brown's looking
Brown.
bad.
Chase Brown might play in the worst offense in the NFL now.
God,
No,
I
but I
hate
mean, real talk. They're probably bottom 10 offense in the NFL realistically at this point with Jake Browning at QB, even with all that talent. And their O line is bad, which
O-line's
that's the
trash.
thing that hurts Chase Brown too. So I'd keep Genty. I think the Raiders O line hasn't looked great either, but at least their passing game has looked decent. They're putting up points. I think their offense is going to be better than the Bengals, and they're very high paced. They've been running a lot of plays every game. So at least his opportunities will be, pretty good. Because Geno has like 34, 35 pass attempts on average. He has over 100 on the year already. And Genty's been getting good carries like in the mid teens every week.
Yeah, for sure. Ren didn't die. What's up, brother? Hope you're having a good Tuesday. What's up, my man? Full PPR. Should I trade Aomanor and David Njoku for Hinder season?
Yeah.
I think if you can get him, definitely. Like, we're excited about Aomanor is like a flex play, a wide receiver 4 kind of guy. Njoku is borderline startable tight end 1, but losing work to Fannin and also on the Browns, but has been good in the past. Henderson, very excited about. Ramondre has a good week, Ramondre has a bad week. Henderson is going to get more and more work as the season goes on, and we know he's good. He's explosive, playmaker.
Yeah. I mean, Ramondre fumbled twice this week, and then they tried to let Gibson carry it, and he fumbled. They did
Yeah, I
put
did catch
Ramondre
that.
back in near the end, but Henderson
Crazy.
got like the whole next drive after Gibson fumbled. I just think Henderson's clearly taken over as the year goes. Io Manor actually looks pretty good, but the Titans' offense as a whole looks pretty bad. So I'd rather buy into Henderson. The Patriots look like maybe they'll improve as the year goes. May looks good at least. Um, so yeah.
Makes sense. What up, Daniel? How we doing, my friend? Oh, 0-3. So not doing that good. Gotta work on this one. Want to shake up my team. Give Bijan and Ladd and get London and Hampton. Not for me. I think I can't get rid of Bijan. I think he's still. I mean, there's a few guys that you're going to want the rest of the season that are the top ceiling running backs. It's like McCaffrey, Gibbs, Bijan, to name a few that I wouldn't be able to get rid of. I think
Yeah.
Ladd is a little bit of a letdown, but I don't think the swap for London and Hampton is going to help.
Yeah, it feels like you're kind of selling low on Ladd and buying high on Hampton because you're giving up Bijan. I mean, Bijan would arguably be the 101 right now.
Right.
It's not like a terrible trade if you really wanted to do it, but I would just lean anything that keeps Bijan. Trading
Same.
away Lad for something would be fair, but maybe if you give like Lad and a small piece just for London, maybe you switch that to London. Lad and
Hmm.
London were pretty close price anyway.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, just trying to keep Bijan is what I would do.
Yeah, I expected more out of Bijan in week 3. The Falcons just had a really rough go, so I put that on the team, the offense, the offensive line, quarterback play. Not really
Mm.
Bijan's fault, and better days ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, his usage has looked pretty good. Obviously, that was yours getting smart, but Bijan looked really good some of the other weeks.
It's another good, um, kind of a managed league home league strategy that Galaxy is saying is like, don't just give up CD to a team that can afford to carry him, throughout the season, and then give that make a super team that no one can beat by the end of the year. So there's also some consideration to that. You do have to be playing, for your own team's sake and trying to make the playoffs for yourself, but you could allow someone to build an insanely sick team if you gave up CD in a panic kind of thinking.
Yeah. Well, that's true, but like I don't think you can really hold a guy to sell him later because it's like, well, if you're holding CD till week 10 or 11, aren't you kind of in or out? Like you're gonna get rid of him like 2 weeks before he's back because you're like, oh, I have to win out or else I'm completely eliminated. Like
No, I think you just hold.
you're
It's not like you can't. It's either just
well, because he's
yeah, you
saying the
just have to
longer it
hold
goes,
them.
the healthier it gets. Like sell him to a top team. I guess yeah, just don't panic. Yeah, but yeah, I guess I just would say like you don't want to hold them super long
Yeah,
if you're in a bad spot, if you're 0-3, 1-2, like
either hold them or sell them now.
yeah, or like yeah, you could wait like a week or two, but yeah, I just wouldn't wait.
If you wait a week or two, you don't have anyone to start in his place. You have dead roster spots. So I would say to avoid holding a player you can't start, if you're gonna sell him at all, sell him immediately. Otherwise, just hold him and wait it out. I'm holding and waiting out in my home league. I have no other choice.
Yeah, I don't know if
But
I actually
also,
hold
like,
CD
if
in a home
someone tried
league.
to lowball me on him, I don't even know what I would consider. I'd have to get enough to start a player and feel like I don't know. I don't think I can sell him.
Yeah, yeah, I wouldn't trade him away if I had him in any leagues, probably just because I don't think unless I was like 0-3, I guess that'd be probably the only way.
Yeah, I guess that's where it comes back. I'm 2-1, and I'm trying to defend. I narrowly lost my latest matchup, so I'm gonna hold. Ollie Gordon or Monangai. I'm gonna go with Gordon, but I think it's close. What about you, Hartman?
Mm, I'd probably go Monagai right now just because Swift is like really questionable this week.
That's true too,
So
right? Was it
just in case he gets a start.
was it his quad or something? What was his
Yeah,
thing?
he has a quad injury, yeah.
That's a good point.
But it sounds like I don't know if today if he didn't practice at all. I have to look. But yeah, he's dealing with an injury, so Monagai might get kind of a surprise start.
Yeah, our FFPC team, we got our first win, so we're 1-2 now.
Yeah.
We had a
Good.
rough start because we've got Rice and we paid full price on him. We got Rice in the 3rd round before the suspension. We had AJ Brown with a slow start and then now has a bounce back. And we
Mhm.
also had this week, we had one of the highest scores this week. We had AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts, Scattaboo go off, to name a few. So like we're looking for flex options. Now we have
We were
we've
actually
got
the highest scoring team last week.
we're the highest scoring team of so we're starting to come on. Kind of our thesis is coming together around the 0 RB build. And we had Bowers too, so he's struggling along with his injury, which hurts us a little bit. But I'd say we're
And
still
tight
in it.
end
We're not out
premium.
yet.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean our team looked great last week, and I think really it's just filling that second flex spot until Rice gets back. That's our only real weakness. And other than that, I think our lineup is pretty strong overall.
Yeah, I like it.
And in Scattaboo, that's like a gigantic help. That was like a huge help to the RB room.
I know. We were talking about it in the DMs. I was like, man, it feels good
Yeah.
to hit on Scattaboo, and the fact that we had him on this team, just exactly what we needed at the right time.
My other FFPC team, that one's going crazy. That one,
What you
I
got on
think
that one? I remember you
I'm
drafting it. I watched you draft it.
oh yeah, because that one was the one after kickoff. I think in that one I'm 3-0, and then I
Nice.
just dropped 180 this week.
Oh,
And I had Scadaboo, Quinchon, and Sutton all on my bench. I still dropped like 180. Like my team in that one's like just kind of nasty. I think just
damn. All right.
tight end. I have like 4 tight ends, and they're all like the best one's like Goddard. So that's the only
Hmm,
downside. Tight end premium, tight
okay.
end kind of sucks. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. What's up, George? How we doing, brother? 2-1. Should I trade for Jonathan Taylor? Should I trade Jonathan Taylor for Bijan? Non PPR, so standard scoring, or I guess what they used to call standard scoring. Other
Yeah.
RBs:
Best
Christian
format.
McCaffrey, Travion Henderson, Harvey, Marks, Tootin, Monangai. Trade Taylor for Bijan. Well, I mean, I guess Taylor's the other guy I didn't mention that technically is like still a top running back. A straight up running back or running back trade. I mean, man, it's hard for me to wrap my head around that. But technically, Taylor's been the better player thus far. The Colts look like a better team than the Falcons. They're scoring more points. I don't know. I don't know if I want to mess up the juju and like make that trade. I think obviously it's like, yeah, get Bijan. That's what we'd recommend. But you've already got McCaffrey and then, a bunch of other upside, rookies. So I would just say if it's not, broken, don't fix it. Keep rolling with McCaffrey and Taylor. But what do you think, Hartman?
Um, I don't mind the trading for Bijan because he has like such a good schedule down the stretch.
Okay.
Um, I really think they're JT and Bijan are like neck and neck. I really like Bijan's schedule. It's kind of like a coin flip. I really don't mind trading JT for Bijan. And I would say in general, I like JT like more like I have a lot more JT than Bijan at cost, but like I think if you can get Bijan, it might be worth it. I don't know.
Okay. Interesting. I mean, the
Really
schedule
close.
does matter a lot. So that's what it would come down to is understand that schedule, see if you prefer one schedule or the other. Hartman
Yeah.
seems
Well,
to like
don't
each on a little bit.
don't the Falcons have like a super cake playoff schedule? Like, aren't they one of
Um,
the easiest? Because I remember in the sprint, they were like one of my biggest targets. It's okay. So Rams, Cardinals, Bucks. I guess that's okay. I guess that's not great because the Cardinals are kind of better than.
The Bucks would be a plus matchup, and then the Rams, I don't know if that's necessarily a plus matchup.
Mm. I think also because the only game they have that's not in a dome was the Bucks game. So like they just have all good weather.
Fair
I
weather.
guess maybe it's Bijan, but also the receivers kind of have a good schedule.
Let's
So
see
maybe
what the Colts should have a decent schedule, I thought, down the stretch. They're going to be uh Jacksonville, 49ers, Seahawks. So actually that's actually pretty tough, I would think.
yeah, I think the 49ers are kind of mid, but I know the Seahawks are one of the best, obviously. I think the
Right. I
Jaguars
don't
have
think the
been
Jaguars are that bad.
yeah, I know they've been really good against the pass and they're pretty good just overall, right? The
Yeah.
Jags, yeah. Yeah, okay. So yeah, but not like the worst schedule. It's not like he gets the Browns your championship week or something like that or the Packers.
Right. Yeah. Understanding the
But
Browns are like the best run defense. They even made Josh Jacobs look like, he couldn't get it done. So that was it.
they they basically make every running back look like Chase Brown. Crazy. Like
Including
I
Chase Brown. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Um, O-line hurt for sure. Ask Burrow, definitely. Yeah, what's up, this bandit? How we doing, my
What's up?
friend? Hope your week's going well. Hope you're looking forward to some nice week 4 matchups. We'll be talking some trades here. A lot of people are hurting with CeeDee Lamb or James Conner out. Yeah, what's up, CU? We got um the trade question. London, Montgomery, Henderson for Henry. I'm assuming Derrick Henry and Rashi Rice.
Hunter Henry after that
So
spike.
what's that?
Hunter Henry after that spike week.
Yeah. No, that's funny. I actually kind of thought that too for a half second, but there's no way, right? It's
Yeah, it's Derrick
so
Henry. Yeah.
you would give up London, Montgomery, and Henderson.
Probably if you're like 3-0, I'd do it. I think Henry and Rice is the bigger true upside. But you gotta, you're like if you're starting like all three of those guys, like you gotta look at what your lineup's gonna be for those 3 weeks while you're waiting for Rice. I mean, make
Yeah,
sure
it's
you're
tough.
not like killing your lineup and just taking, 2 out of 3 games you're taking an L because your flexes suck. Like, you gotta make sure you can afford it with whatever your bench situation is, your other players. But I prefer Henry and Rice in a vacuum.
I'm good
I
with
don't
that.
know.
Billy wants to know, is Kendra Miller a good stash?
Yeah.
I
He
think
he
he's
seems
fine.
to
Yeah.
he seems to have the RB2 role pretty locked up. So,
Coaches like him.
even if the offense is bad, if he has the role locked up, then it's never a bad stash.
I'm cool with that stash. There's no way to know what trade Williams is referring
Yeah, yeah,
to,
there is no
but
way
we'll
to know
assume it's
which
the
trade.
last one. Maybe not because we know he's in on Rice. And then Rendon wants to know, 10 team PPR, 2 flex. He's 1 and 2. So okay, we got some work to do. He's got May with H. and Hubbard. He's got Jamar Chase with BTJ, Marvin Harrison. He's got Tyler Warren, got Judy, and then his bench, he's got Rice, Godwin, and Njoku, Ailmanor, Franklin, Harvey, Tootin. Not trading H. and Warren. Best trade targets. Well, you could be fine with May, or you could consider upgrading QB, but you're saying it's single QB, so I don't know that like the QB it is 10 teams. So in 10 teams, single QB, that's where I might want to have one of the elite QBs. Uh
Mhm.
Otherwise, the rest of your roster seems fine. You're just kind of in a bad spot with Jamar Chase and Brian Thomas Jr. not paying off yet.
What if, what if like you could, what if you could trade like Jamar Chase for like a running back that's better than Hubbard? Maybe like
Yeah.
Jamar Chase and like I don't know, Jamar Chase and I don't know if you could trade a bench guy, maybe like Njoku if they need a tight end or something. I don't know. He's kind of but like
Also,
maybe if you get a running back rather than Hubbard, would maybe be what I'd try to do. Trade like Chase or like Judy would be fine to trade. Harvey or Tootin would be fine to trade if you're getting a running back upgrade. Harvey, like I'd probably rather trade Harvey than Tootin, but
you've got Tootin, Ailmanor, Franklin, Harvey, all guys that you could be flexing at any given point later in the season. Besides the fact you've got Rice, who's going to be coming on, you're going to have to replace one of Chase, BTJ, or Marvin Harrison Jr. with Rice at some point. Like he's going to be better than all of them at this current, way we're thinking. With obviously, we're saying the Bengals are not looking great without Burrow.
mhm.
Um, so like Rice could just be your best receiver. So you need to make a little bit of room. So I would, like Hartman was saying, figure out how to get a little bit better, stronger at running back is probably your best bet to have success. And then, like my first thought was, yeah, maybe you could, because like also you've got some decent upside shots on your bench, but you're never really going to find use for them with the players you've got ahead of them. So now you're just doing bye week fill-ins, and how valuable is that? A guy playing 1 week. So if you can consolidate those, maybe one of the players you're starting right now with one of your bench pieces to get just a better starter, I'd feel good about that.
And I just think if anyone's willing to be close to Jamar Chase's name value, you take it before like, maybe people just think the Vikings kind of shelled him. Jake Browning's first start, and Chase looked really good 2 weeks ago. I really think with Browning, his upside's so capped, or at least week to week. I think his floor is so terrible. His upside's
Mm.
actually not that terrible, but the floor is gone.
That's a good point. It's the floor that's missing, and that's kind of what's going to hurt the most because you'll just bottom out and makes it hard to win a week if the guy you spent all your draft capital on isn't putting up double digits. Trey Tucker, priority out this week. I think I wouldn't break the bank on him. I'm putting in one of my leagues, like I just mentioned, where I had CeeDee Lamb go out. I'm putting in a $6 bid for him, so 6%. But even then, I'm not really sure if I want to do it.
Yeah, I think maybe highest end 15 to 20 if you really feel weak at receiver, like you really need any piece, and he's clearly the best piece. But I would have a really hard time going over like 15 or so. Like 20 would be absolute like need 'em kind of thing.
Yeah, for my own
And someone will
reasoning,
probably still beat you at that price.
exactly.
Yeah.
And also, I already have Mooney, Shaheed, Luther Burden on my bench, and I'm probably gonna want to, or I guess one of them has to start for me now. But then two of those guys I need to start now, and I think I like almost all of them over Trey Tucker going forward. I don't know if maybe this is the new Trey Tucker. We'll see, but he just kind of spent all of his, you know, kind of
All of
like,
his good karma. He burned it
yeah,
all
he's
in
gonna
one
regress
week.
going forward. Like, he can't keep this up forever. It's gonna be Jacoby Myers, it's gonna be Brock Bowers more often than not. Dante Thornton's still there. Jack Besh kind of buried, but he still exists. So like, there's Genty we expect to go off in the future. So this is what happens when Bowers is hurt. Jacoby Myers doesn't have his biggest week. Dante Thornton isn't playing as many snaps as he possibly could at the moment and isn't being totally used right now. And then also Genty is underwhelming. You get a Trey Tucker week. So like, do I think all of that continues going forward? Probably not.
Hmm. Yeah, and I mean, like, I don't mind he also mentioned Alec. I don't mind
Yeah.
him as a pickup, especially if you can get him
I like
cheaper.
Alec more.
Yeah, I actually do too. I
Yeah.
think he has a better chance to turn into a consistent weekly starter, like flex play, than Tucker. I think Tucker will just be inconsistent all year.
He also says he has I don't recognize this player. Do you recognize that name?
Stephon Diggs.
Diggs. Stephon Diggs.
Diggs is the guy.
Diggs. 100%. I'm a great guy. I'm actually a great guy.
There's actually seems to be a few guys that don't think that.
Stephon Dust. Unfortunately, I'm calling it. It's week 3. Maybe things will change, but I think that's the last time this is the last season where we're gonna be rolling that clip because he's not gonna be even relevant for fantasy next year, and people won't even remember the name Stephon
Yeah,
Diggs.
it is truly hard to see coming. The 31-year-old off the torn ACL.
Who could have
we
seen it
this
coming?
coming?
Damn you, Fantasy Dog Pound, for touting Stephon Diggs all season. You got me back in because I was out. I was hard out all summer. But I was like, damn, if Pat's really on him, he knows ball. Let me get back in. So I took, I don't know, I have like 6% Diggs.
What team is Fantasy Dog Pound a fan of?
I know, rip. We're all
No.
We're all looking for the guy who did this.
Yeah, no, realistically though, I think Diggs might be okay. Kind of through the midway point.
Bruh.
I don't know. Drake May's the truth. Drake May might just carry any bum. It might be DeMario, might be Diggs. Who knows? Drake May will carry someone.
Boutte.
He's him. Oh yeah, Boutte, yeah. That's like the QJ of the Patriots.
Yeah, the thing is, Boutte is actually like a good prospect profile kind of guy, good college guy. So, he outproduced Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas Jr. He outproduced, in a given year. Obviously, there's some seniority at LSU. They don't just but also there's guys, true freshmen who can break out. So at the end of the day, he did beat them. He beat all those guys for work.
He's just like Jack Besh for real.
On that team. Who?
That's why he's just like Jack Besh for real. Because didn't Besh outperform like Neighbors and stuff too?
No, Besh. That you're thinking of Boutte. Boutte was 1, and then it was like Neighbors, Brian Thomas, and Besh was like way down, and then Besh transferred out.
I thought Jack Besh had like one insane season where he outperformed like a bunch of like better receivers or something.
He did it at TCU. I don't recall him doing it at LSU. He was kind of a non-factor at LSU, if I remember correctly, and then he had a good season at TCU last year. Was his thing?
Oh, okay. So maybe it was like, okay,
huh? You're thinking Boutte.
I'm definitely not. It was a rookie this year.
Oh, who outperformed a bunch of good guys?
I thought it
Egbuka.
was like Neighbors and BTJ and stuff.
Egbuka was
Egbuka was like third or second on this team. Always, I thought.
well. He was
That was
always
like
competing with Marvin Harrison Jr. and JSN for snaps. Like he was always he played with those guys.
I don't know. I don't know. I just be making shit up. That's my bad.
It's true though. Yo, what up,
I
Charles?
was looking up his stats. He was not good.
Oh, Jack Besh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he had one good season at TCU. I think is what it was.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Charles? How we doing, brother? Oh, is Swift banged up? A quad, apparently. I mean, I need to catch up. That was like 15 minutes ago. Billy said, okay, speed round through the rest of the questions. Just want to say, you guys, show is easy to listen to, great content and great vibe. Keep being yourselves. One of the better fantasy YouTube. Hey, Suave. Appreciate the kind words, brother. Thanks for jumping in tonight with the questions. Keeping it going. Appreciate it, my man. Thanks for being here. Jesse says, we'll get through Jesse's question quick, but he's looking for suggestions. He's in a 10-man full PPR QB, Josh Allen. Hey, there's your answer right there. You should be good. Barkley looks good. Irving, wow. JSN, okay, you don't need any help at all. George Pickens, Kelsey, Benson, Flowers, Dobbins, Addison, Sharp. I mean, we should be asking you for advice. This team's fire. Any suggestions? Yeah, send us some money when you win your league.
Yeah, it looks great.
Fire team.
If you can get some name value out of Kelsey and trade a bench guy, if you really like another tight end, maybe you try to make a move there. But I think you're fine with them too. I really like the team overall. And it looks
Yeah, I
deep.
like it.
You got good depth. Flowers on your bench. And that's pretty crazy. Dobbins on your bench.
Yeah, Flowers and Dobbins on the bench is what sold me. I was like, you'll be solid. You can ride out any storm you have with injuries. Maybe upgrading at tight end could be smart. Trade that name value of Kelsey before it gets much worse. But people are hating on Kelsey pretty openly, and they secretly still want him because of the Chiefs situation right now with Worthy and Rice out. But once Rice comes back, Kelsey could just become like a non-factor even more than he already is, which is kind of like hard to imagine that he's just like nothing. But I think Rice could actually be that engine of the offense.
I wish someone would send me an offer with Kelsey in a home league. I would send him back the most disrespectful counter of all time. I want that bum on my team. He's dust.
Bro, I tried to trade Kelsey straight up for Danny Dimes last week in Superflex, and the guy wouldn't take it. I almost thought he would.
Yeah. Hell no.
I almost thought he would.
Not in Superflex though. That'd be crazy.
He's a Premier League fan, so he's watching the wrong football. So I thought I had a chance.
There you go. This is the guy that got cut from the Giants.
Trade Josh Allen, Jalen Warren, and Keon for Caleb Williams and Bijan in single quarterback. I would be more interested, but that's kind of tough because also why trade Josh Allen? But if you're getting Bijan and Caleb Williams, maybe that's enough. What do you think, Hartman? Is that close enough?
Yeah, I think so, because just when you think about in your home league, like what round does Josh Allen go? Maybe like the third, maybe the fourth even? Like,
probably third.
Well, I guess some people, I guess, actually pull them up. My home league QBs always fall a bunch. But Bijan, I mean, that's a first round pick, top 5 every single league, always. So if it's single QB, I think you just got to take the Bijan piece. And okay. Caleb looks great. I mean, Caleb looks good. Probably, yeah. I get keeping Josh Allen though. I think it's close. I'm just saying, like, if I'm getting Bijan in a trade and the only premium piece is really the quarterback I'm giving up, I feel pretty good.
Yeah. CU says I'm 1 and 2, but I have Rome, JJ, Devontae, JT, and Kyron. That's crazy. Damn. Bad luck, bad run. You'll have better days. That's a good squad. Yeah. And then Suave says, last one, trade Jamar Chase and RJ Harvey or Henderson for BTJ and Genty. Oof.
Yes.
I think yes, right?
Yeah, I'd rather have BTJ and Genty. I would rather trade away Harvey personally, but I do think that that's a debatable call.
Sure.
But I'd rather trade away Harvey than Henderson. I think either one, I'd rather take BTJ and Genty though. Like
Yeah.
if they're really high on Henderson, they don't really want Harvey, whoever you're trading with, whatever.
That's a good point. Before we get to Murph Feezy's question, then we'll run through the rest and then we'll draft some teams. But don't forget to hit like. Go ahead and do me a favor, subscribe to the channel. It's free, doesn't cost you anything. Also, if you're interested, we have paid memberships on the channel now. So you can become a member of the channel, join the inner circle. You get cool emotes. You get a lot of other perks for being a channel member. Besides the fact that we just run through essentially everyone's questions and team questions and things, but you get much more than that. And also you can follow us on Twitter at FFP Garage, at Hartman_FF. Is that right?
Yeah, probably.
It used to be
think
Fantasy
so.
Stooge, and then you got a new Twitter handle midsummer. And yeah, thanks for jumping in the chat and saying what up and asking us your questions. Make sure you hit that like too and vote in the poll because I'm going to close the poll in like 10 seconds. But let's look and see what Murphy has got. A 10-team expensive. It's that's a $300 league. That's considerable amount of a buy-in.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Lamar, Gibbs, Bucky, Scadaboo, Benson, Pollard, Warren, JSN, Tetaroya, Rice. This team is sick.
Yeah.
I don't know if we missed your question or if you're just like, look how sick my team is, because that's pretty sick. Okay, here's the question.
Yeah.
PPR start 7. Oh, yeah. Okay. Should I sell an RB or hold tight the depth? I honestly am thinking sell high on Benson before he even plays a snap. Or you're saying Warren is both Warrens. Oh yeah, Warren at tight end and Warren at running back. I'm looking to sell Benson before he even plays a snap. And then, but what would you get? You really don't even need anything. So
I would sell Benson, and then I would even consider selling Pollard or Warren with him. So
that's what I
like
was
2
thinking.
running backs and
Upgrade.
get an elite receiver. Because receiver I think is weaker than running back, and running back you have 6 starters. So if you need 3, you'll be down to 4 and you'll have like an elite receiver. If you could trade Benson and either Pollard or Warren. Sorry, go ahead.
It's a good call. I like wide receiver 1 in Tennessee. I think so. He's getting there. Hey, anytime, Billy. Gonna get Jackson Dart. Well, that's crazy, but also could be good. Okay. Makes sense.
Hendo and Tootin's not bad though. That'll feel better in a couple weeks, I bet.
Yeah, Hendo and Tootin could be fun real quick.
Yeah.
He was tight end to LSU, outperformed Neighbors, Butte, and 2 others. What was Basher tight end? That's funny.
He was tight end at LSU.
Dang, okay, I forgot that part. But when you see it in the stat sheets, it just shows up as receptions, but you have to look further to the left to figure out that he's actually a tight end. And I don't look that far to the left. I'm looking at the right side where the touchdowns are.
Technically, the one year he did outproduce Neighbors, but it was like 490 to like 410, and it was Neighbors' first year, but it was best first year. It was
what's up, Krios? How we doing, brother?
Oh yeah, Krios said it.
Yeah, man, were we talking about that long ago? No, we're still talking about it. We've been talking about the whole Besh booty thing. I think we've been talking about it all night, but pretty funny. The day B-Rob was traded, someone sent me an offer with Jarquez for Bill. So I sent them a counter bill for Jaden Daniels. Oh,
they should have taken it.
What's up, Peppers? Thinking about sending Pickens for BTJ and BTJ for CD and Addison.
Wait, no, but under that he says my team is 0-3 and I'm getting desperate. You can't trade for CD Lamb. Your team's 0-3. What are you doing?
You can't trade for CD. We're worried he's not going to play until week 11, brother.
Yeah, you have 2 healthy guys. You can't trade for CD Lamb. You can, if you want to make some moves, sure, but like you need guys that are playing. Like maybe like a Drake London. Drake London's a good buy low, I think. Olave is a good cheap one.
Closing the poll. Make sure you guys hit the like button for me. The result was yes, Addison is him, 76% versus no, slow start incoming 24% on about 29 votes. So pretty good. But make sure you guys hit that like as well if you haven't already. But the whole thing on Addison, I saw Coach speak today, and I'll read it right now from the Minnesota Vikings OC Wes Phillips on Jordan Addison's return. He says, much like a lot of guys that come back, whether it's from injury or whatever, I don't know that you're looking to play him 80 snaps if that's what we get. But I mean, no offense is running 80 snaps, but he's just saying like he's not going to run the full snaps. He says, we see it like we have 4 starting receivers with Jordan back. I mean, that's just a bold-faced lie, but we want to keep all of these guys fresh. We want to use their skill sets and talents uniquely and individually. Jordan brings a lot to the table. He's been in great shape. He's had an unbelievable offseason, unbelievable training camp. He just looked like a man on a mission. So actually, that's more bullish than I was originally thinking, because that is just saying they're not going to play him every snap right out the gate, but they're saying that it's what they actually do when he shows up on the field and starts outperforming and, making people forget that Jalen Nailor was ever, on the field kind of thing. So some hesitation to outright just start Addison in week 4, but also if you've been holding him, if you're waiting to play him, you might just be too anxious to get him out there. And we know he can smash. I mean, like Jordan Addison. Goes hard.
Yeah, that one was a good one. I like that beat.
The problem with that that song is that it's like completely copyrighted. And Bindles put that one together. Shout out. And we put it together right before we did the stream with Neil Orfield, because he's like a big Minnesota guy and
Vikings fan. Yeah,
and a Vikings fan. And so we had the Addison clip, and then that's like some Minnesota rapper, I Swear Vezo, that the Bindles listen to when he works out, of course. When else?
Oh.
And so then we put Neil onto it, and Neil was like, I kind of like this guy. What is this, Spotify? And we put him onto it. And then I remember like the next day on Twitter, Neil was like talking about I Swear Vezo like casually on Twitter to like somebody else. I was like, dang.
Oh yeah, so that's why Bindles made that AI post with Neil with the chains and stuff.
Yes, that's what it was. It was an AI post with Neil looking like just like grilled out, diamond up.
Well, I Swear Vezo, he's from Detroit. He's a Detroit rapper. My little brother, he tells me about I Swear Vezo all the time.
Oh, maybe it was a Detroit reference.
But he's from the region. I mean, he's Midwest.
Over my head.
Big in Minnesota as well, I'd imagine.
The only Minnesota, when I think of Minnesota, I think Little Yachty.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like Minnesota. Cold like Minnesota.
I don't even know. I don't know any other rappers from Minnesota. There probably are though.
Artists, you got Prince, right? And Prince from Minnesota.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
Okay, where were we? Pickens about to be doubled next 4 weeks. That's also true. The double team's incoming.
Better than Lamb. He'll score more.
Yeah, the 0. It's gonna be tough.
Oh yeah, Cooler said the same thing. Yeah.
Let's look. I mean, we're only 2 hours in, but let's get to our original schedule.
Let's just do Dog Bowl. Dog Bowl right now. Dog Bowl, just jump in.
Oh God. I mean,
we could.
No, we could.
I
don't feel very confident.
We can do a prime time. We can figure that out quick. Or we could finish let's finish the slate deal.
Okay. And then let me just do this so it shows up right in the middle. I was gonna do some like game preview stuff, but I'll just skip that. Let's get right to the good stuff.
We can do the game previews if you want. Or we could do the ones for the primetime games if you want. It's up to you.
Yeah. Okay. I can do some primetime ones. Let me do. This is slightly too big. Let me do like 130. Still slightly
Immortal
too big.
Technique. Do you know who that? You know who Immortal Technique is?
I do know Immortal Technique.
Yeah. I just know that one song, "Dance with the Devil." That's the only like.
I couldn't even name a song, but I just know that I know.
Oh, that's like the That's like their biggest. That's like the big storytelling one. Like 7 minutes long or 8 minutes long.
It's been too long. My music playlist gets more and more condensed as the years go on, further and further away from college, where listening to new music was like a thing. Now I just like what I like. Okay, I can do some rundown. I mean, I need to finish editing these. They're not fully finished edited, but we'll get into it. And yeah, I'll go ahead and just do it like this. Thursday night football, Seattle Seahawks at Arizona Cardinals. The game total is 43.5. The spread, Cardinals -1.5. For the Seattle Seahawks, they're 2-1. They dominated the Saints what is this? Already wrong. The very first one. I don't know.
DK Metcalf at 104.
I knew this was going to happen because I was editing further down. I hadn't got to this part yet. Okay, we're going to skip this. We're just going to go right into. I have to do more work on the week 4 matchups because
The next one was right. Defense ranked second in points. I'm sure that's right with 2+ turnovers. Because
that did happen.
That did happen. Yeah, we're not getting 1.5 points.
We're moving on. We're ranking players for the primetime slate. Okay, so primetime Palooza.
Enter primetime Palooza. Let's go. Oh, right. Oh, this is the whole list. That's cool. All right. Yeah. No, that's cool.
So
I like.
So this is what I put together. This is my thoughts. There's 3 matchups, right? There's the Thursday night game, which we just looked a little bit at, but it's Thursday night game, blinding light. Seattle at Arizona, 43.5. Seattle -1.5. We have the Sunday morning game, which is Minnesota at Pittsburgh, but it's really in London. Or no, it's in Dublin, Ireland. I kept saying London. It's in Ireland. A 40.5 over under and a 2.5 Minnesota -2.5. So that's the lowest scoring game on the entire weekend, except for Tennessee Houston. But essentially the lowest scoring game on the slate. And then Sunday night game is going to be Green Bay at Dallas, the higher scoring game of the 3 at 47.5. Green Bay -6.5. Probably the most shootout potential, but also that Green Bay defense. So, I mean, this Seattle Arizona game looks kind of intriguing, doesn't it? Except for the fact that it's a Thursday game.
Yeah, or why is it bad that, or just because Thursday games usually suck?
It's just kind of a short week, but at the same time, the Minnesota Pittsburgh game in Dublin is like the worst environment for fantasy scoring, I would think.
I mean, probably. Yeah, I mean, usually the overseas games, I don't know, the overseas games, sometimes they just get wild randomly. It's so, I don't know the stats on like overseas games. Like, are there any stats that you know of, like how they usually perform against like spread or totals?
I'd have to do more research on that. I just anecdotally know players are in different time zones. The training facility, everything's just off. There's no one's at home. Everyone's away. Everything's just off. It's a hard, long week.
But same thing with like the corners, right? Because like I remember last year, like Jaden Reed going off against the Eagles in Brazil because they blew like 2 coverages against them. So it's like, right, the corners are on the same thing. If they're not playing well, that might leave an opening. Or, if maybe Ken Walker, he's just like that. He adjusts and no one else does. Ken Walker just eats him up.
Could be. So, I mean, I think besides all other things considered, there's one international game. It's the lowest point total according to Vegas. There's 6 teams. Usually in a primetime Palooza, there's 4 teams. So it's a little bit different. I think it's kind of a fun twist on it. We've got 6 draftable quarterbacks. I have it tiered like this. I have this is I have not looked at ADP. I have not done any of these drafts yet. This is how I in my head came up with like what I would think are the options. Because of time zones. Yeah, some players don't deal with time zones very well. Hey, what's up, Blue Crew? Appreciate that. Getting Trey Tucker, he's 0-3. Other wide receivers, JSN, Coleman, Rice, IR, Turpin, and Neighbors. Yeah, with that kind of setup, I think you could end up flexing Trey Tucker when Coleman's on a bye and until Rice comes back. So like I see that making a little bit of sense for you there.
And you've been a little bit unfortunate with the Neighbors production. You know, he had the one monster
Since week
game,
1,
but
right? Yeah.
yeah.
Who hams? So just I don't look at ADP until I start drafting because I don't want to be like influenced. This is how I straight ranked and tiered. I don't know if you can see the purple line that I have for the tiers. It's not a lot of
Oh, okay, that's
contrast.
the tier break. Okay.
As I
I
realized the
can
purple.
see it. I can see it pretty clear.
Okay. So because there's only 4 teams in the draft, I have Love, Dak, and Kyler. Oops, I keep doing that. I need to. My bad. I don't know why it's doing that. I have Love, Dak, and Kyler as. Oh, because I've been doing that. Whoops. Okay, I won't do that again.
Right.
In my first tier, it stops with Kyler, and then Darnold, Wentz, and Rodgers are going to be free because if 3 teams already have a quarterback, you'll have your choice to get any of these 3 for free. I think the odds of someone drafting Darnold or Wentz or Rodgers with a stack ahead of a Kyler or Dak or a Love is going to be like 1 out of 10 or 1 out of 5, like very low odds. If you're drafting 20 of them, it'll happen twice kind of thing.
I think Darnold could get moved up a little just because JSN is probably the highest receiver, him or Jefferson.
Right.
So I think like people might hold
Skip
Darnold
Kyler?
above like Kyler. Yeah. Or
But
skip
Kyler,
Dak.
then
I think
the
skip
other-
Dak would be more it to me.
I could see that because the flip side
I
is
think
people go
Kyler will go over Dak. All right, sorry.
probably people go, oh, Kyler has a rushing upside, a rushing floor. Like they'll take him naked, right? Over, so maybe.
Well,
I still think I like for my own rankings and what I assume I would do. I got Love, Dak, Kyler, and then it's close. Darnold is my real tier break would be after Darnold, but considering only 4 quarterbacks get drafted, it had to be before him because he's essentially free most of the time. Otherwise, yeah, this I knew who
I
him would
just
say
saw
this.
that.
Not
Yeah.
surprised. Running back wise, I've got Jordan Mason, who I think is my top running back. Jacobs, very close second. So Mason has a slightly better matchup. Or maybe I don't know, but
I don't know. Do you think so? Especially with the implied of like the Packers, because I think like the thing to me with like the Kyler over Dak, and maybe I'd be like Jacobs RB1, is just I feel like the Packers just absolutely destroying the Cowboys is probably the most likely
outcome and the highest scoring game, and they're a favorite. So like I think it's close.
And a big favorite.
It's very close.
6.5, right?
Yeah. Walker and Warren to me is the end of the first break where it's like 4 teams all can get an RB1. I think any of these 4 could be the RB1 on the week. Technically, Benson could also be the RB1 on the week. I just have him slightly below that because I think it's a tough matchup against the Packers. And then
no. Wait. The Cardinals don't play the Packers, right?
No, for Javonte.
Oh, for Javonte, right? Okay, I thought you were talking about Benson. Sorry.
So I don't think Benson can be RB1 on the week. I think I'd be really surprised, but I think all of these 5 can be RB1 on the week. Obviously, there is going to be a scenario where Benson could be RB1 on the week. It's just I think it's the least likely. So essentially, 4 teams in the draft can get an RB1, but with a really deep, we don't in primetime Palooza. You usually only have 2 games to pick from in 4 teams, so usually you don't have the ability to. It's rare. Like getting 2 stud running backs on a team can be extremely valuable, and usually you don't have access to it very easily, without sacrificing too much at wide receiver, etc., or even tight end. This is a unique slate because of the extra game. You almost should be getting 2 stud running backs on, I think, most of your teams because wide receiver is so deep, and the tight end is actually extremely deep as well. And the tight end's never been deep. It's been pretty slim pickings at tight end all season long for these primetime slates.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, the only risk you run with the tight end is if someone decides to take 2 for a flex, because in the primetime ones, that is viable. So like you don't want to be stuck with like Barner or something as your only option, but I agree. You can wait on tight end until like Jonnu or Freiermuth, and you're like, Jonnu is okay, but if you get Hawk, I mean, that's great. Like if you get him later. The only thing I actually feel like Warren might be one tier lower.
Hames, you're making me laugh. I know you're being serious, but that's like the funniest thing I've heard. Why Horton is above Turpin that much? Dude,
Turpin's
Horton.
nasty. Yeah, what is
He's
your
nasty.
excuse?
He's the next Justin Jefferson.
2 catches for 64 yards last week for Cavante Turpin.
Also, I mean, not bad. But
And a carry.
The thing you said there about the tight ends, though,
Mhm.
assuming that only 4 get drafted, you could take the last one and have access to Hawkinson, Jonnu, or Freiermuth. Most likely you'd want Hawkinson or Jonnu. But then if someone does flex one, you still have access to Jonnu or Freiermuth. So like there's almost like, what are the odds that any one of these 6 tight ends is the tight end 1? It's like more likely that one of them could be tight end 1 than like I would think. I don't know. It's probably pretty close. Like Javonte or Benson being RB1 versus Jonnu or Freiermuth. I guess it is slightly more likely that Javonte or Benson would be RB1, but not really.
I think so. When you have a McBride, Kraft, Ferguson, and Ferguson
I guess
just
my
got
point is
13 targets. McBride.
there are 3 elite tight ends on the slate, but in terms of current scoring, but tight end is so replaceable, and like you can imagine the team that wins, you might not want to pay up for one of these tight ends. You might just want to get all of the skill position players first and then pay down, and still maybe Hawkinson or Jonnu loses out to one of these 3 guys by like 5 points, but then the difference is you pick up 10 points with one of these guys.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I think if you're getting Hawkinson, I don't really feel like you're losing much upside. I think if you're going to the Steelers guys, then I do think you have a thinner path to your tight end being like the guy you need, in my opinion. I think they're a tier below. Like I would almost have Hawkinson in his own tier, and then the other guys below that.
Yeah, I moved Turpin up just for Hames because he's not wrong, but at the same time, he can't get that much higher. I mean, but probably a little bit disrespect, but still. I mean, I honestly probably still want Thielen ahead of Turpin. We'll see. I don't know.
I'd rather have Turpin for sure with Addison back. Give me Turpin. Like straight up, like I'm being honest. Like I would rather have Turpin. I think where you have him is actually you have Turpin one spot too high. I'd rather have Wicks.
It's close,
actually,
right?
I'd rather have Wicks than all the guys in this tier, probably. I don't know.
Well, we haven't even got to wide receivers yet. We'll get to wide receivers.
Tavian Witt, Packers target leader 2024. Look it up.
Captain Moistbeard, sick name. How you doing, brother? Says my Minnesota friends think Atmosphere is good. Have to check that out. Never heard of that artist.
Oh yeah, they're pretty good. They're like kind of like a rock like softer rock kind of rap a little bit. I don't know.
I guess Hames, I'm just like ageist and sizist a little bit, where Turpin's like a 29-year-old shrimp and Horton is like a full grown ass man, rookie stud.
Yeah. Turpin get the 80-yard touchdown though with the basketball.
Horton above Golden's wild. Probably. I put Golden a good amount down here because I'm just like assuming the market's going to be more out on him and more excited about Horton, who's been hitting lately. Austin's been hitting. He's been productive. Romeo Dobbs is a little bit more productive. So this has mostly been ranked on production / opportunity going forward. We'll get
Golden
receivers though.
Golden has to go higher than Horton. I haven't done one yet either.
We'll move it. We're moving players. This is my first take. I haven't even seen the ADPs. We're gonna move things around. Yo, what's up, KO Kingdom? How we doing, my friend? Choose 2: Flowers, Slick Rick, T. Higgins. Yikes. Egbuka or McLaurin, who's going to be injured and probably not play, we think, but maybe if he does play, it could be limited. I'm going to go Flowers and Ricky Pearsall, and a close next would be Egbuka. I'm going to sit out Higgins and McLaurin until we figure out if McLaurin's healthy, and then Higgins, we're screwed with Higgins, brother.
Give me Rizzy P and Egbuka. Sit Zay Flowers, but Zay Flowers would be third.
Picking up Wicks for a stream play versus Dallas. I think that's totally fair, but
Yeah.
it just depends on what the opportunity cost is, like who are you benching kind of thing, right?
Yeah, if you're benching a guy you don't feel very good about, then I think Wicks is a fine stream, but don't bench a guy that you feel decent about for Wicks. Wicks
This
could
is
be more boom bust.
This could be true peppers. I think we know that Wentz is like capable. We just don't know how capable he is at this point in his career kind of thing. There might be a strategy where you say if you draft one Vikings pass catcher, you don't draft any other ones. That could make sense. I'm going to be leaning heavily into Mason as it is, so I probably don't want them that much considering that fact.
I do think you can go like kind of an anti-Mason script and hope that maybe they just throw some short touchdowns, don't really have much rushing. Maybe that's kind of how they get there.
No, Huhames, I can never disregard what you say. First off, Huhames knows ball. Second off, I need Huhames to help me. Otherwise, if I'm left to my own devices, it's just going to be golden at the 101, and I'm never going to win any money. So, what's up, Jason? Would we trade JSN for Alvin Kamara and Zay Flowers? I'm going to say no. Or should I just trade Egbuka for Zay as a 1-for-1? I don't know that I would do that either. I might just because I think you need to hold JSN. He's kind of like having a crazy start to the year, and then a Egbuka for Zay, that's like pretty close. Pick what team do you want more of? Also, Mike Evans is going to be out for like 4 weeks, and Zay. The problem with Zay is we think he's great. He's explosive. Year 3 breakout incoming. Also, the Ravens don't even need him to win. The Buccaneers need Egbuka to win. Like they're going to be. You see what Baker Mayfield's continuously doing. He's winning in the last minute of the game over and over again. They're passing chunk plays down the field versus on the Ravens. They could just keep running the ball with Henry or Lamar, spreads it around, makes everyone good. So I just think it's more consolidated for the Bucs, and they're more predictable that they're going to like have good passing scripts.
Yeah, and I just feel like with the Evans injury, especially that's looking pretty serious. Egbuka's role is looking too good. He's been super hot to start, making highlight catches. Like, I really don't think you can trade Amika away right now for a guy who they were similar value coming in, and Amika's looked, pretty great so far. And Zay has too, but last week he, kind of didn't look so great, kind of inconsistent still.
It's a good point. Make sure you guys hammer that like button. We're reviewing the primetime slate right now. We're looking at the Seattle Seahawks Arizona Cardinals game on Thursday night. We're looking at the Sunday morning game where the Vikings are playing the Steelers in Dublin, Ireland. And then we're also looking at the Sunday night game where the Packers are playing the Cowboys. And then we're going to be drafting some primetime Palooza primetime slate drafts on Underdog very shortly. Right now, we're just kind of predicting the market and looking and kind of ranking where we think players should be going, taking a first pass before we see the actual ADP and get influenced. Oh, Captain was saying he would sub in Wicks for Terry. He could play Mooney or Ridley or spend big on Trey Tucker. Or so I would, let's just say Terry's not playing or he's injured and you're afraid to play an injured player. I'm going Mooney there. I'm somewhat cautious on Ridley, but also Ridley could get it together.
They're playing the Texans. They're playing the Texans though. That's a pretty rough matchup.
You're right. It's a rough matchup. I'm
gonna be like a low scoring trash game. I think. Like it just feels like. Go ahead.
Mooney is playing that same game against Washington at noon, so you'll kind of have information going into that one. Oh, what's the deal with Terry McLaurin? And then you could swap for Mooney. Mooney got like 11 targets in the last game. It wasn't a super productive day, but I think he's still a big piece of that offense. And then Ridley is supposed to be a big piece of the offense too, just the Titans aren't looking good. So I don't know. I probably like Mooney and Ridley more than Wicks, but could be wrong.
I think I like Mooney the most just as like the safe kind of projectable play. And then I like Wicks if you want kind of more like a ceiling boom bust play. I don't think it's worthwhile to spend up on like Trey Tucker, especially if it's more for short term with Terry, questionable this week. He's probably not going to miss a big amount of time. What's up, Steve?
What up, Steve? How we doing, my man? Always good to see you in the chat. Hope you're having a great night. You came at the best moment because we're right about to draft some primetime slate, primetime paloozas on Underdog. So we're getting into it. Shout out to Steve with the Fanspeak Network. I'm going to be joining Fanspeak on their YouTube channel tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern Time for the DGen Dad stream. We're going to be talking some best bets, looking at week 4, having a lot of fun there. So excited for that. And then Peppers with the kind words. Great stream.
Thanks,
You
Peppy.
awesome dogs. Appreciate you, my man. Thanks for
Appreciate it.
chilling with us tonight. Egbuka has higher floor, in my opinion. That's kind of another good point. He's been super efficient, which is kind of like Zay Flowers' calling card. He's like hyper efficient as well, but it's up and down. We've only had 3 weeks to sample. We know Zay Flowers is good. Only getting better, probably also true.
I just think with the Bucks injuries, that just locks Amika into such a nice role, and he's looked so impressive already.
Yeah, no doubt. Okay, back to the slate. Let's go back to these running backs. So Mason or Jacobs, and then Walker or Warren. You pretty cool with those two groups of two kind of being the guys, or do you think Javonte moves up for some reason, or Benson?
I actually think that Warren should move down a tier. I don't think Warren has the upside that those other guys have.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like real ceiling outcomes. I think Warren, and I don't think Warren's floor is a whole lot better than like Javonte, maybe better than Benson's because we're not guaranteed what Benson's role is. But
Okay.
I don't think Warren's floor is significantly better than Benson, and I think it's similar to Javonte. It's just that Javonte has like the worst matchup possible. That's the only scary part with him, right? And the offense might be a little bit less efficient overall.
I see.
Yeah,
I
feel
know.
like
I'm cool with
Warren's
that.
under those top 3. I don't know. It's not. I don't know. I feel like the top 3 they could just all be RB1 a lot
Yes.
more like often than Warren would be.
Okay, so if you could get 2 of these RBs on a team, you're like, you almost have to do it. But if it comes down to one of these guys plus one of these next guys, it's more of a sometimes kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I would just have to see. Like, I don't know who's available where, kind of same
Exactly.
thing.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, like I guess where you have tiers, obviously the top 3 receivers I would take over Warren or anyone below him.
Yeah, let's jump to receivers. So, and we've kind of already touched on tight end, but any last changes to tight end?
No, looks good to me.
Okay.
I
So
think
for wide receiver,
Hawkinson's volume's not as guaranteed as the top 3. So
okay,
yeah.
that makes sense to me. The wider, and I think Jonnu could be the tight end 1 on any given week. So like I'm thinking because it's like an embarrassment of riches at tight end, it's almost more of a punt tight end week. Or push tight end where you take like the second or third tight end, which is almost certainly always going to be Kraft or Ferguson. But it seems like paying up for McBride on this slate is like not the move, in my opinion.
I mean, yeah, because he has probably the toughest matchup. Maybe Ferguson does, but
the opportunity cost for McBride is going to be like taking Justin Jefferson.
I mean, what's Justin Jefferson really worth on the current day Vikings?
Oh, okay. So let's jump to receivers because this is where it gets like juicy and there's way too many options with 3 teams. Is JSN the 101 and also the top receiver?
The 101,
It's either him or Mason or Jacobs.
Yeah,
right?
I would take Mason and Jacobs over him personally.
Okay, so JSN probably back into the first round.
Yeah, I think so.
That's fair.
I think like if you took him like second or even first, I don't think that's reasonable. I just personally would rather try to get the double running back start.
Yeah.
because wide receiver seems deep, like you were saying.
Right. Jefferson and Pickens is where I have my first tier break. I'm thinking of like a big 3, but I almost thought about making it a big 4 or 5. And the next 3 names will be up for discussion. But are you putting Jefferson ahead of Pickens, or how are you feeling about that?
I mean, straight up, I guess I'd probably rather have Jefferson, just because the Vikings defense is pretty nasty. Like, I'd probably rather have Jefferson straight up than Pickens. I think the tiers are pretty fair because I think after Pickens, the target volume is really not guaranteed for any of those guys. I think that's kind of where they're, like the big issue is. Like Pickens hasn't had insane target volume, but with CD out, I think he'll see it, or at least enough to be, like have a good enough role to feel good about him in that top tier.
All right, I'm spamming some emotes in the chat so that y'all can see, because I'm remembering to mention that I now have emotes if you become a member of the channel, which is only one of the perks, the many great perks that you can get besides just supporting the channel, which is always appreciated and never required, but also it's just a thing now because I've been setting up since we hit the 500 subs, setting up all of the next steps of what's going forward in the channel and building out what does it mean to be a member here and all that good stuff. But I did upload some emotes and I just remembered, so I want to show those off. So far, it's I have 3 different colored Lamborghinis, boom, and then my little logo. But we'll differentiate that and kind of have some fun with it in the future. But just wanted y'all to see because it's a brand new thing. Yeah, thanks, Captain. Huham says he's been changing Turpin's ADP in second quarter. I wouldn't expect anything less. You think it's a 3 wide receiver slate? I think this is like the most 2 running back slate we could ever have, because usually the 2 running backs, it's like, I mean, last primetime Palooza, you could get blessed with Derrick Henry and Montgomery or Gibbs and Montgomery, but in past ones, it's been like getting 1 running back, and then you don't want to take Pacheco or Hunt or Tracy as your RB2. And you could do a anchor with Scadaboo. I think the team that ended up winning that one though had Scadaboo and was it Thursday night again? It was Cook, right? So, but anyways, I think because wide receiver is so deep, it makes it more interesting to go. You could get 3 strong ones, but it makes it more interesting to get 2 because it's so deep. But it's always kind of deep. I don't know. It goes both ways. Benson or Walker if Sharp sits out. Oh, it has to be Walker. I'm starting Walker over Benson regardless of Sharps.
Yeah. If Sharp's out, easy start Walker though. Easy.
Pepper said he's drafted Wentz, Jefferson, Addison, Hawkinson team just in case I'm wrong. Oh, on a primetime Palooza? That kind of seems sick actually. Just for fun. I mean, I always like having like one version of a team stack. I had a Lions team stack that just needed Tesla to score, and it would have been like dangerous, but
I feel like
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna like it looks cool, but I feel like it doubles kind of my limit unless it's like a really, really high scoring offense. But I do think, it's pretty fun to see like the whole like Minnesota passing game if they just light them up. It is kind of cool to build those.
Because at first you're like, oh no, how could you only want one team in this 4-team slate? And then you see what the Lions did last night, and you're like, oh, that's how.
Yeah, well, and I mean, if the other game is like Giants Chiefs, I mean, Scadaboo went off, but imagine that gets more spread out. Where like Neighbors has like a mid game or something. Yeah, it's like it could, no one could really win in one of the games, or there might be one low owned guy that's a winner like Taekwon.
Yeah, what's up, Carson? How we doing, brother? Yeah, Huham's just thinking Smith on this one. I'm kind of leaning that way, but I wouldn't hold it against you if you end up going DJ Moore, just because of what the Eagles are doing right now with their passing volume.
Yeah, I would also go Devonta Smith. That would be my lean.
Huham's, you're thinking
I like the Bucs matchup.
It's 150 max. What do you think it was? Like 50? I was
Why
surprised.
aren't you maxing?
I was like, damn, Huham's 150 max thing. Okay, so Jefferson, then Pickens. Here's where it starts to get tricky. The next 3. And I actually am hating on Harrison a little bit right now. But
yeah, I would I would switch
Metcalf,
Addison and Harrison.
You'd switch
Personally,
Addison and Harrison straight up.
yeah. I mean, personally, I mean,
But what have we seen from Harrison this year?
week 1 he was decent. What have we seen from Addison this year? What have we seen from the Vikings passing offense this year?
That's the whole thing.
And Addison's coming in as what option number?
Maybe I'm too high on Addison because I'm excited for him. Metcalf has actually been pretty productive. So, like, if anything, it has to be Metcalf ahead of Harrison, right?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Or you think just because the game environment, you can justify Harrison's game environment versus Metcalf?
No, Metcalf should probably be above Harrison, but I just view them like the same tier, I guess. Like, to me, it's like Metcalf and Harrison are a tier, and like I would really not want to play. Like, I'm gonna be avoiding Jordan Addison in any of these that I do personally.
Okay.
I'm not, if I'm playing like Vikings pass catcher, it's probably just Jettas and maybe Hawk. I'd rather play the Vikings just through Jordan Mason though, and try to get like Jordan Love in a scroll down piece on the Packers. Jordan Love, Dontavian Wicks coming to plenty of my lineups this week.
So you're thinking, yeah. So Metcalf, Harrison, Addison last in this tier.
That would be my personal ranking, but I mean, it's up to you. It's up to you how you want to.
No, I put these together fast, and I was trying to figure out what I really believed in. I think the game can matter. This is the lowest scoring game on the slate. This one's the Thursday night game. Seattle's defense is good, but pretty consolidated offense. And James Conner just went down, so maybe they do end up throwing it just a little bit more. Or some of those James Conner targets turn into designed plays for Harrison. Let's hope, whatever. Maybe that's going too far, but Metcalf has been productive. He's their primary target. I think that's not too crazy. Let's go down to these lower tiers. We have Horton and Austin. I have them in a tier. Maybe we need to add Golden and Dobbs into this tier. But they've just been more productive. Horton and Austin have actually had 2 touchdowns this season. Golden still has not made pay dirt. I think Dobbs has 1 touchdown, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that sounds right. But I think that Dobbs you could maybe move up there, but I think Dobbs has maybe a better floor than either of those guys, or a similar floor, but he probably has less upside than Horton or Austin.
Mm-hmm.
And then Golden, I think he just has no floor, and that's why you have to put him in a lower tier than Horton and Austin. I think Dobbs is debatable, but just because he lacks the upside that they do, it makes sense that he's in the lower tier.
Okay.
And then Cooper Kupp, I guess, just sucks. I don't know what the deal is.
Cooper
He
Kupp
doesn't get targets. He doesn't get catches. Gets like 2 catches every week or so.
Turpin can have a big play, a big spike week, so we'll keep him up there. Wicks is on the field at least. Thielen also on the field at least. Tolbert also on the field at least. Naylor on the field at least, maybe even less so than ever. But I could see a scenario where kind of my argument. So, and then Michael Wilson. So, like my probably these are 3 of the lower owned players on the entire slate as wide receiver. But what you have to think of is, okay, this is a Cowboys receiver. This is a Vikings receiver. This is a Cardinals receiver. Anything can happen in any given week, a small sample size. Could Tolbert outscore Pickens in any given week? Yes. Could Naylor outscore Jefferson in any given week? Yes. Could Michael Wilson outscore Harrison? And then you can make the same argument for like JSN, but it would have to go down to Cup, but that's actually a pretty easy argument to make, although it seems like it's actually becoming a really hard argument to make. But in a 1-game slate, like any given receiver who's actually on the field can be that team's wide receiver 1 in fantasy production in any given week. So like it becomes much more apparent in these primetime slates where you're chasing touchdowns, where it's like, oh, I drafted JSN, but he actually had his worst week of the year so far. And the touchdown, or that's a bad example, Jefferson, whatever. And the touchdown went to Naylor, and then Naylor puts up a 15-point week. That's good enough to hit your lineup. Like, that's good enough to pay off with your last pick. So they're in here because if you draft more than 10 primetime slates, you're going to want to scroll down to some of these guys more than once, and probably with your stack, or as, if if you're just taking a lot of players on the same team or something. I don't know. They're there, but I mean, if there's only 4 teams drafting 6 players and you're going to get to 4 quarterbacks, let's just say 4.5 tight ends on average, then there's only going to be 24, drafted players. And then you're going to, so that gets rid of 8.5. You're down to 15.5 players available. If I look at the running backs, you get through these 6, and then wide receivers, you get through these 9. That's 15. So like Golden would go undrafted, Charbonnet probably injured, but like Gainwell, Sanders go undrafted, Cup going under. So that's like who's going to go undrafted on average kind of thing. So like it would take a lot to get down to like a Wicks or a Thielen. So I don't know if that's a lot there, but that's kind of my thinking on how we scroll down and how you can get different.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. I think my favorite ones be Wicks. Tolbert had 6 targets last week. I'd be pretty happy mixing him in on some DAC teams, even doing a double like Pickens and Tolbert. Real scary matchup. Packers looks terrible, but I think that could be like kind of a contrarian play that maybe works out, especially if the Packers get up a bunch early. Maybe it's kind of more garbage time, but it all counts the same, right? I don't mind like a Dallas double like that or something. Not often, but on a couple squads if you're doing some volume. Wicks, Turpin, they could be big plays. They're getting some volume.
Oh, is that right, Huhames? That's funny. Yo, what's up?
Yeah.
David, how we doing, brother?
Here, quick trivia question for Candy, man. What do you think the most yards the Vikings have passed for in a game this year is?
Well, they just had 179, right?
They just had. Well, do you count the backup or just Wentz? Do you want total passing yards? They just had 202 total. Wentz through 173.
Oh, because what's his name came in?
Max Brosmer.
So that was it. Was that the highest so far?
Yeah, that was their highest so far.
Yeah.
But Wentz 173. I don't. I would rather have passing offenses that throw for more than 200 yards. That's me personally. I think Addison's a great player. I think their quarterbacks all suck. I think Kevin O'Connell's a god, but he finally met his match. JJ McCarthy ain't no Sam Darnold.
Damn. True. These are all good considerations.
Yeah, and his QB was like top 5. Like, or what, just outside of the top 5. His QB threw for like more than 30 touchdowns. Like, ain't doing that.
Yeah,
Sam Darnold's different than these guys. And I'm saying something. Sam Darnold sucks.
Man, the hate. I like how David's calling you out on the hate.
Jordan Addison's a great player.
I said I like it.
Is a great player.
I said I like it. If Dallas plays that same zone D. So, what do you think? Let's talk the game. Let's talk overall game environment. We could just completely target Packers and Cowboys players and fill out an entire roster. We could just target Seattle plus some other pieces. If you had to rank the games in your interest and then the team in those games, like, I guess I'm asking you is like, of the 6 teams, just rank your interest of like your 6 teams, like, and overall, like their ability. Like, do you have the Packers first?
Pieces from that team. Yeah, I get. I go Packers number 1, easy. Packers, then the Seahawks, then the Cowboys, Cardinals, Vikings, Steelers. Other than Jordan Mason, I get the Vikings. I only really want Jordan Mason at cost. Like, Jefferson's fine, but like I'm not really wanting to be in on the Vikings a bunch other than Jordan Mason.
Okay.
But I like him like higher than being number 5 overall or something. So that's kind of like I don't know. It makes it a little hard. Like I would much rather have like Cowboys receiving options and scroll downs. But at running back, I mean Jordan Mason's arguably like him or Jacobs are the one. So
Here's one more game theory kind of question for you. Because we assume Wentz and Rodgers, and probably Wentz is the least drafted. Maybe he gets stacked more often, but Rodgers has actually had a week where he's a top 12 quarterback already, week 1. If we assume that Wentz and Rodgers are by far the least drafted quarterback, are they just the best plays this week?
no.
Okay.
No,
Good.
not if I mean maybe well, because if they don't hit, it's such a concentrated field. Like all the other guys are all owned, and like they're the least owned. But like Metcalf's one of the highest receivers. Jefferson's one of the highest receivers. Like what percentage is that? Like 20 to 30, maybe. Because people are picking them over like Darnold probably if they have like Metcalf or like what is it, Metcalf or Jefferson, right? I mean, I don't know. I just feel like it's so hard to say because if no one really separates, it definitely can be good. But like by saying like the low owned thing, it's like you're counting on them being the guy that separates, which Rodgers against Minnesota doesn't seem super likely. And then Wentz in general, maybe if they just don't rush for the touchdowns, they get them all in the passing game. I could see it. But Rodgers against Minnesota seems kind of hard to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's like the thing is that's like they're the lowest owned quarterbacks, but they're in the worst environment. And at least and like Wentz is by far the worst quarterback.
Yeah.
And yeah, Rodgers going against
I,
Minnesota, not really desirable. But I think you have to sprinkle some of these guys in. What would make you draft a Wentz or a Rodgers over any of the other top 4 quarterbacks? Would it be because you took Jefferson, because you took Metcalf? Does that ever get you there? Or do you think, no, actually, you still just want the best quarterback? Like, I'd rather have naked Kyler or naked Darnold with Metcalf or Jefferson than stacking them.
no, I would take either of them stacked over Darnold. I'd probably take either of them stacked over naked Dak. I would probably take a naked Kyler over either
Okay.
of them, just because I feel like he's more viable without a stack. I think with Dak, he's just not super viable without stacking him. Maybe he spreads it out with the injury to the alpha, but Dak seems like you want him stacked if you're picking him at least somehow. Because if he's QB1, it seems like you want pieces.
Yeah, and Darisaw out is what we already knew that for last week, but isn't he out going forward?
There you go. Just like last year when Sam Darnold started seeing Ghost again.
Slapsky, what's up, brother? And we're about to draft some primetime Palooza, so let's get buckled in and ready. I think we're ready. We've made all of the mental notes. We're going to jump in there and see what the ADPs look like, what the market looks like. But before we get to that, make sure you guys hit the like. Make sure you're subscribed. Thanks for being here. And if you have other questions, we're doing live Q&A as we're drafting as well. 12-man, half PPR, 2 flex, WRT. He's got May, Chase Brown, yikes, Pollard, Adunze, nice, Jason, nice, Bowers, nice, Juwan Johnson, here we go, Golden, come on now, Packers, kicker, Packers D, bench, Caleb, very strong, Tootin, love it, CD, yeah, a lot of CD questions tonight. I'm in that same boat. And then you got Bill, aka Ja'Cory, Krosky, Merritt. There's a bunch of running backs available. I kind of like Corum as a stash. Woody Marks as a stash. It's hard to know between Chris Rod and McNichols. Oh, Algier's available. I want Algier ahead of all of the guys I just mentioned. Downs, I think, is the most interesting receiver available, but I'd have to revisit
I'd,
like how that's turning out lately. 2 open
I'd
bench
be
spots. Yeah.
I'd be Woody Marks and Downs. Maybe
Okay.
Bateman looks kind of interesting. Algier looks good too. But
Yeah. I would sign off on those.
yeah.
Oh, right. Well, also, yeah, Algier has a bye in week 5 coming up, but
Mhm. Maybe Woody.
Quorum's in.
He's been getting more snaps every week. Quorum too.
Yeah.
He's been getting more work.
What's up, Anton? How we doing, brother? Got CD London. Everyone has CD. Literally everyone has CD, and I'm one of them. CD London, Shakir Coleman, Boutte, Godwin. Should I trade Pollard for DJ Moore in half point? I
No,
think you
probably
can.
not. Yeah, it depends what your RBs are, I
Yeah, what
guess.
does your RB room look like? Because like that's close enough that
Yeah.
if you're really worried about receiver, I mean, you're starting Shakir or Coleman in London, and then you're
Yeah,
kind of
like
stuck like because you can't. I feel weird starting both Shakir and Coleman.
that's true. Cause yeah, I guess you can't really start Butte consistently.
It's tough.
Yeah, I mean, value wise, it's fine to get DJ Moore for Pollard. I was just thinking, yeah, it just depends. That depends
Darisaw
on
is
that.
back. I thought that was last week. That I
There
guess
you
I didn't
have it.
see. I thought it was last week that he was out,
Who
but
who knew?
yeah, who knows ball? Who's paying attention? Keeping us in line. Stash Monagai or Kendre Miller. Give me Monagai for now, Kendre Miller for later. But Monagai, I think at the moment.
Yeah, on guy.
There we go. Peppers knows too.
There you go.
Darisaw is back. I guess I didn't notice that, but I swear I thought I saw maybe it was the whole thing going into
Yeah.
the week was that like he was questionable and that now he's back. All right, well that's good to
Can't
know.
Candyman trying to feed me misinformation. I'm just agreeing because I'm like this guy knows ball. I think just agree with this. Smile and wave.
Smile away, boys. Right now, leaning towards Marks and Turpin. Well, there's one Turpin fan in the chat, but it wouldn't be me.
Marks was my pick at RB.
Yeah, Marks is fine. He should get used more. Chubb is dust. Hampton, Mason, Kamara, JCM, Sharp at running back. Oh, your running backs are sick.
Yeah. Trade Pollard for DJ Moore. That's fine.
Yo, what's up, Kenny? How we doing, brother? What's going on? Hope you're doing good. Thanks for jumping in. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So more to learn on the whole Darisaw situation. But you guys know ball. Let's rip a hurry up and just get a feel, and then we could do some paloozas because it only takes so long.
All right.
Let's see if we can even fill the hurry up though.
I guess I didn't think of that. All right, so let's see what's the ADP say. Time to have all your preconceived notions thrown out the window.
Yeah, Jacobs, Mason, JSN, Jefferson. We got that mostly right. Then Ken Walker, Trey McBride, Pickens, Benson is way overranked. So we're going to do a hard fade on Benson, Metcalf, Love, Javante, Kraft, Warren. So Warren's pretty undervalued, but he's going up against Minnesota. So maybe that's part of it. Marvin Harrison looks pretty cheap. Golden looks pretty expensive. Addison looks pretty cheap. Ferguson, cheap. Murray, then Prescott. Dobbs, Cup looks too expensive. Darnold going right there, essentially the last one. We have the 101 draft starting in 20 seconds. Jonnu. So these are the guys who are starting to go undrafted. Jonnu, Charbonnet, Calvin. So Calvin Austin and Torrey Horton still going undrafted in most drafts. That's wild to me.
I mean, that kind of makes sense, right? Because you only need
They're
two.
good. You only need two, but yeah. Okay, so you want to start it off with Jacobs, and we'll just follow ADP for a while, or do you feel strongly about Mason or JSN?
Oh, I think Jacobs is the 101. I fully agree with him at 101.
Even after he didn't score a touchdown and only had 10 points last week compared to Mason putting
who
up
did
23 and JSN putting up, whatever.
man? And what teams did these players play? I
But
wonder.
okay, fine.
Did Josh Jacobs play the toughest defense in the NFL by far? Could be it. They make every running back look like Chase Brown. And
That's
Jordan
fair.
Mason, he got to play the team with Chase Brown. That's an instant advantage.
Kenny Trill has got a 12-team tight end premium full PPR. He's got Mahomes, Garrett Wilson, Keenan Allen, Debo, Bijan, Judkins, Jalen Warren, Ferguson, Lamar on the block from an 0-3 team. He doesn't want a QB back. Should I trade Bijan for Lamar? I would not.
Oh.
I like your team.
Yeah, no, don't do that. In single quarterback, a quarterback is more like worth like a third rounder or so in a single quarterback, not like your first rounder.
Yeah, that's why.
And
The
Mahomes
first
is
4
fine.
picks, it goes Jacobs, JSN, Mason, Jefferson, McBride at 5, Benson at 6. FK's in here. What's up? FK takes Benson at 6 after we were just talking how we thought that was the worst pick, but interesting.
Okay. I think Ken Walker windmill, right?
Ken Walker against Arizona. I'm definitely cool with that.
Or we could do like Love and Kraft. We could do, I don't know. What are you feeling?
Love and Kraft is pretty fun to go with Jacobs. What do you think?
Oh, we have Jacobs. I guess we could just do Love and then Walker, and then get like a receiver later. We could also do Kraft, or we could do like a Golden later. Your call.
How do we feel about Kraft? It was kind of, he's coming back from the injury.
Fine.
It's a little bit of a slow start.
Up to you, Walker or Kraft.
Let's go Walker, just playing for points. We got
prefer
Jordan Love, who we
Walker.
think is, the best quarterback on the slate, essentially. Then let's go Ken
And I
Walker.
think he has so many outs at receiver. Like
Yeah,
Jordan
exactly.
Love, I mean, we have unlimited options basically in this kind of format to pair him
True.
up with. So I think, and we got arguably 2 of the top 3 running backs.
Yes,
on
and
the
we were
whole
kind of
slate.
saying we shouldn't pass that up. Like I was saying, based on our original tier right here, if we had access to Jacobs and Walker, like we can't pass it up. So I think we stick to that. We still get Love. We have our top ranked quarterback, 2 of our top ranked running backs, and we can play depth at receiver, tight end. There's like almost no wrong answer.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and I think like you said, tight end so deep, receiver so deep. And with Love, I think Love is clearly the best QB on the slate just with like their game situation, and he has so many outs, you don't even have to worry about stacking them when you pick them because you can always get a stack.
Some good points here as well. Foxborough Freeze, what's up, brother? Got the throwback Tom Brady in the profile pic. Love to see it. Should I trade Jefferson for Pickens and Egbuka?
Yes.
Hartman?
Yes. Higgins and Egbuka better. Yes.
It's ballsy. I like it. And then Slapsky says Downs or Bateman. I probably lean Downs. We just saw a bounce back from Bateman, but I'm still going to go Downs for now.
I lean Downs too. I think in a redraft, he's a little bit more consistent, and I don't think the upside's a ton different.
I'm not really interested in Shepard at this point, but he will be on the field, and he could have some like low end flex appeal. It's just kind of hard. Yeah, fully loaded's in a lot of these. Okay, we're back on the clock. Ferguson and Kraft both went, so now we're the last team to take a tight end.
I mean, your boy.
We keep pushing it. We're going to go Golden and potentially Addison, or we could go Dobbs.
So do you think a triple on the Packers because we have Jacobs? Or do you think one receiver?
It just goes back to the whole thing where it's like, if you had every Lions player last night, would that be good or bad?
Well, yeah, but I mean, the Packers offense isn't like the Lions offense.
True. Very true. I think three pieces is a lot out of 6. So we can stop there. Do we want to pivot to anyone else off of Addison and avoid that game?
I kind of like Orton. I like Austin. I kind of like grabbing Hawk here. Or does everyone else have a tight end? All right,
They
yeah,
do is the
Addison.
only reason, and I assume no
Okay,
one's
yeah.
gonna flex a tight end currently because of the available options, but I could be wrong. We're also the
Okay.
only team that's taken a QB,
Oh yeah, huh?
which kind of hurts a little
Yeah.
bit, but at the end of the day, it's not that big of a
I
problem.
mean, I guess so. We could add DK instead. Would have been the only DK or Harrison. That would have been the only difference if we didn't take Love, because those are the only two receivers that went. We could add
Yeah,
Kraft, but someone might have taken Love, so it's hard to say.
right. It seems like we might be able to push quarterback more often than we expected to go Love in the second round and then
Yeah.
Prescott and Murray in the fifth. But look, the guy who has Prescott has him stacked with Pickens and Ferguson, so that makes a ton of sense. The guy who has Murray, it's
Just Trey
okay. He's
Benson.
got him with Benson, but also, I mean, it's just like take the best quarterback. Wow, Wentz goes to fully loaded, so he stacks him with Justin Jefferson. That's interesting. It's crazy. He took Marvin Harrison and then was maybe hoping to get Harrison with McBride and Murray, but FK says,
Yeah.
hell no, I'll take the unstacked Murray. He has him with
Not letting
Benson, I
them
guess.
build that. I respect it.
So it's our last pick. We have to get a tight end, so we are going Hawkinson. So that's the way we roll on our first one. If he's there, if we get him, if not, we would just grab Johnny and cry a little bit. But
Mhm. Yeah, I like it though. I mean, I think pretty solid team overall.
Hawkinson, we finish our first draft. We go Jordan Love, a little bit ahead of ADP, but we'll figure that out. We're just kind of still feeling it out. We've got Ken Walker way after ADP, so a nice grab there. Josh Jacobs, Matthew Golden, Addison, Hawkinson. So a little bit heavy on the Vikings where we said we didn't want to be. Maybe
Yeah.
we should have pivoted to Johnny there, or maybe we should have.
I would have set off of Addison. I think receiver had a lot of options.
That's true. We could have gone Calvin Austin or Torrey Horton.
I think Addison's fine there though. I mean, he's the highest projected by probably a decent margin. So
Yeah, this is the
I don't
first
like
one. We're
hate
still filling it out.
I don't hate the pick, and I don't really think the two Minnesota pieces. I mean, they were like our last two picks, so I don't really mind like doubling up when they're that cheap. I would mind more if it was like trying to do Jefferson with Addison or like where you spend a lot of capital on one. I think that's harder to win. But with the lower capital pieces, I don't mind it too much. Like I said, though, I'm a little bit lower on Addison this week, but that could also just be my bias.
Yeah. No, I think it's smart. We'll have to let me diversify a little bit more out of that one. That was all Packers and Viking except for Ken Walker. Nothing
Ken
necessarily
Walker
wrong with that
carrying.
though.
Ken Walker's all you need. Ken Walker's all you need from the Seahawks Cardinals game. It's just that simple. You just need K9. Don't play it otherwise.
Yeah, we would need a little bit of a high scoring event there for the Packers for that to work, but it could work.
You've never seen Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs got hands. He can catch.
Yeah, you can catch the ball. Yeah, what's up, Frizzle? What's up? Drop Keon Coleman for Luther Burden. That's kind of tough. I'm pretty excited about Luther Burden, but I think Keon Coleman actually also has a nice role for potentially an even better team. So I don't know that I'm there yet, but if it's that close and you feel like you can't use Coleman and you want to use Burden, maybe, but are you still going to hold Burden on your bench? Or are you actually going to start him and you're actually starting Coleman right now? I think it's close, but like I don't think it's enough for me to drop Coleman. What about you, Hartman?
Yeah, I'd probably keep Coleman for now.
Yeah, I guess that was true. He's one of the running backs last night. And Laporta, I think wasn't Laporta fine? It was a look. I didn't say. No, you wanted Mark Andrews. That's who you wanted.
Yeah. Oh, I had a first quarter get through. I had Henry and Andrews. I had a tight end flex. That
That's
team
sick.
scored 177 points.
That's so funny. That's
Yeah.
nice. We're in the 4 spot this time. We got fully loaded in here again. FK again in the 1 spot. Ezekiel says, should I use my waiver for Charbonnet or Denver defense? I have KC defense right now. On my bench is Tracy, which would replace with Sharb. I think you could stash and hold Charbonnet. He might not play this week. He could still be injured. He might take some time to ramp back up, but we kind of like Charbonnet in general. I'm thinking Jefferson here at the first pick. What do you think about the second pick?
Yeah, I'm probably Jettas and Walker. I mean, we could try to go a more zero RB approach. I'd be fine with that too. If we wanted like Pickens or McBride, I'd be fine with trying that too. But kind of up to you if you want to lock up the RB right here. That seems good to me.
Maybe we do
any of the top three guys all seem fine to me.
Maybe we do Ken Walker, even though we got him in the third last. I mean, it's all this versus that. We do Ken Walker, and maybe we don't need another running back, and we just anchor with him, and then we can play it through getting a tight end pretty soon. We'll just kind of see what comes back around. From the 4 spot, this is an interesting way. I haven't seen enough teams built from here yet to know how chalky the Jefferson Walker is going to end up being, or if it's more of a truly random 4-5, combination of Jefferson with one of the next 4 guys.
I'd imagine it's going to be decently chalky because those are the top 2 by ADP. I think Jefferson must be going at 4 almost every draft on that 4-5 turn. I think Walker probably sometimes goes after McBride or Pickens, but I bet not many other people pass Walker. Like we saw Benson ahead of Walker in the one where we got him. I bet that is not common at all. I couldn't imagine that's happening very often.
Yeah, it seems like FK is going to have a bunch of Benson this week. He's really packing those bags. And
Which
then,
I don't mind as like a leverage play. I mean, that's good leverage play. Be heavy over
running back has dried up, so I think we're going to anchor on our Ken Walker. Otherwise, like if we had taken if we took the receiver, I don't know, maybe one's still available.
Yeah, I don't know. RB's dead, so what do
Let's
we?
go Tucker Kraft and then Love, or do you want to go Harrison?
I think we go Tucker Kraft, Harrison, and do the push QB thing.
Yeah, I was just thinking that because I was like, if we took Ferguson there, it'd be the exact same thing, but maybe Dak is easier to push. But let's go ahead and do it. Let's take Harrison. Harrison Jefferson seems like it in theory would be pretty strong, although it's been up and down.
Yeah, and
this
then
is nice.
We'll
We have 4 different players from 4 different teams, and the only one we don't have any Cowboys or Steelers yet.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it feels pretty good so far with
fully loaded takes Love because he fell past ADP, so he just snatched up the Love and he's gonna backstack him.
And then, but he's the Trey McBride drafter, so someone would have to. FK Coolers will take Kyler right here, huh?
Maybe people do like naked Kyler, so he's probably the hardest to push.
He did the last time, remember?
He took him with Benson. Yeah, that was from the 3 spot, but he was taking him like at pick 19, probably closer to ADP. If we took Dak, we could do like Turpin. If we took Darnold, we could do Horton. Well,
this team is very like straight down the line ADP, so we should really try to get a deep scroll for the last pick.
So we have access to Murray. Addison is there, which we have Jefferson, so we can't do Addison.
If you want to do Addison, we have to do Carson Wentz.
I feel like I don't want to do that. Or should we? Because we're getting the value on it, and how often does it happen this late?
I think, and then Carson Wentz can be our low-owned piece since we kind of went straight down the order. Or we can go Kyler and scroll, but I don't think we can do Kyler Addison because we're so straight down the line with our ADPs.
I took Addison, and I think we go Wentz, and that's our scroll because
I mean, I don't know. Like, if you want to go Kyler, I mean, we can do it. That's just how I'm thinking of, like, because we're so straight down the line. Like, all of our guys are within like one pick, other than Addison, and he's the like 2 picks. I mean, he's not even much off ADP either. Like, this team's got.
If I have Justin Jefferson and Addison, we need
Carson wants to cook.
essentially, but also Carson Wentz
Just that simple.
has some legs, right? He's not like the most immobile quarterback, so even like he could just also score the most points.
Oh yeah. No, Carson Wentz. I mean, he's about to cook. Like, I was talking all that bullshit, but that's just because I'm a Lions homer. I hate the Vikings. Carson Wentz, he was on the MVP run the one year. So
Yeah, it was 2018.
Jordan Addison back, explosive athlete. They're about to go crazy this week.
Okay,
and
I
this
love it.
team's about to win $12,500. Easy money.
Do you want to do a quick run through of this team real quick?
Sure. We got Carson Wentz at QB, Kenneth Walker at running back. Receiver, we got Justin Jefferson, Marvin Harrison, Jordan Addison.
You knew it was coming, didn't you?
Yeah. No. As soon as he said it, yeah. Oh, it took me a second. I was like, "Who's the clip again?" I forgot it was Addison that has the clip, and then Tucker Kraft at tight end. Tight end won. So
I need
Yeah.
a Tucker Kraft clip where it's him just like doing Lambo leaps, and it's like the John Cena dun, 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 and it's just him like jumping into the Lambo leap.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty good one. Yeah.
Man, we really let FK get Murray with the last pick, but at the same time, like, I mean, yeah, it's just whatever. I'm going to draft it. This is the $3 draft, and it's a 20 max, and you can do a bunch of these. If you're going to take a team that's Jefferson and Addison, you might as well take it with Wentz once in a while.
Yeah. And Peppers is that too, right? That's Peppers.
I don't think so. Is that Peppers? Is that you? Are you Samuelson? I don't think I recognize that.
I thought, well, he mentioned the one time Fully Loaded was in the rooms, and he was the only other name in there.
I don't think so.
I don't know. He might have just been saying that because he said Fully Loaded is in all my rooms. It was like right when the other one was starting, so I just assumed that was him.
Oh, dang. Yeah. I mean, that was close. That'd been close, Captain Moistbeard, to avoid that. Yeah, what's up, Dante? Have Fannin starting, Ingram on the bench, right? Drop Ingram and take a chance on Likely. Not me personally, but I can see why you would get there. But I'm not there yet.
Oh, Troutman is playing more snaps than Ingram at this point. And Ingram's coming off the injury, so maybe he kind of takes it back. But I don't know. When's the last time Evan Ingram looked good playing football?
2023, 140 targets.
Yeah, 2023.
Yeah, I know. But Troutman is like such a Sean Payton-ass play. It's ridiculous.
Who's the head coach?
That's true.
But yeah, no, I don't know.
I think Likely has upside. Likely has upside.
And
we just saw Mark Andrews go off again, though.
It's hard to drop Ingram already too, because Denver's looked kind of a little dysfunctional to start. I think they kind of improve as the season goes, right? So it's hard to drop Ingram this early.
Let's go, Peppers. I love it. Yeah, shout out to the T-Wolves. Maybe next year.
Yeah, realistically, I could see that. That's not a crazy line.
No, that's perfect. That would be perfect for this format where it's that'd be about 15 points, and that's what you want at your wide receiver 3 / flex.
Yeah, you'd be happy with that.
It's enough to win for sure, most weeks. Yeah, Juwan's been really good. Yeah, maybe scroll down for Thielen over Wentz or Addison. There is the move. That'd be insane if we're like off by 1 and it's Thielen, but it's not. Like honestly, what are the odds in a given slate? Thielen outscores Addison, like not too far off. But Addison, I mean, Thielen's not looked good.
Yeah, he hasn't looked very good on Minnesota with Addison back.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah. Sam Olsen. That's who it is again. Sam Olsen. Sam Olsen.
oh, I thought it was like a video game name or something.
I guess it is time to drop Evan Ingram. Wow.
Fair enough. I never picked him, so I
Yeah, I
never
didn't pick
had to
him up.
face that decision personally. Bro, I faded the Broncos so hard, I really couldn't believe it. And like that
True.
could still be terrible, but I don't know why. I didn't even really mean to.
All right, Hartman. This is a primetime palooza. It is a $10 entry. We're up in the
shit.
ante a little bit, so get
And
ready to
then-
sweat this one.
And then next is the prime time to bomb to finish it off.
Oh, I mean, hey, could, but I thought about it. I mean, I'm pretty sure it has like it has the lowest rake and like the best odds of actually making money.
Yeah. I feel like with that, I would rather play in the
Who
Like the
Hames? We got
DK
Who
one.
Hames in the house. We got
Oh,
Fully
yeah.
Loaded in the house. Dude, Fully Loaded's legit in all of these, but I know he drops off ranks, so he's just like ripping.
That makes sense. It's probably just max. Yeah.
Or he's
You know what's crazy?
multi-tabling like a motherfucker right now.
Maybe. We'll have to see when he's up.
Yeah.
Oh,
Peppers is
Jalapeno
Jalapeno
Jenkins,
Jenkins.
that's right.
Yeah, we all knew that.
Oh. Yeah. You know what it is? Just because that name is a name you see in like the like daily lobbies a lot. So like I don't know, just like in Peppers, like I knew it was like a name, like a different name than the screen name.
Yeah, this makes a ton of sense. With the 101 again. Thanks for being here tonight. Make sure you guys slap that like if you haven't already. Make sure you're sub to the channel and make sure you check out Hartman's channel as well. Links in the description below.
If
Jacobs
you
or
want,
Mason?
we go Mason this time if you want. Like I said, I personally in Jacobs, but same tier. So if you want like a Mason team, since you have a Jacobs team,
Nah, I'm gonna draft plenty of these. I'll have another shot to get Mason. I'll be in the 102 eventually.
oh okay, yeah, because I don't know, I don't play much volume on these.
I
Like
do like
DR
10 to
ones.
20. I do like 10 to 20. I don't play like every single PTP slate, but like on the ones that I like, I'll do like 10 to 20.
I do more of the regular slate. I don't do nearly as many of the primetime ones. It's usually just like if I see them like not filling or something, then I'll.
This has
chase
been
them
like
over there.
my niche lately is like these primetime Palooza slates, and then I'm not really playing big on the full slates because it's just there's so many moving parts for me, and I feel like I have limited capacity to digest the slate. And when I'm usually doing it, I'm just doing it as like a week where I'm doing it across like my managed leagues, my dynasty leagues, and who I'm starting and stuff. But then to actually like be in tune enough to make great enough decisions on which player goes ahead of which, on the Sunday main slate, I feel like I could get there. It's just easier for me to digest the primetime Palooza right now.
Damn, who would take Kenneth Walker?
Oh, he would. I don't really want Benson. What do you think?
Trey Benson kind of sucks, to be real.
Are you interested in
we
Metcalf?
can grab Benson. I like Metcalf the most. What's that receiver?
I thought we liked Javonte. We have Javonte ahead of Benson, so we got to stick true a little bit. Metcalf?
Yeah, I like Metcalf the most. What else is that receiver?
Jalen Warren, Marvin Harrison, Kraft, Ferguson.
Yeah, I mean Javonte's fine. I like Javonte. Or Warren. I mean Javonte's game stack with Jacobs. And then maybe we build out like a Minnesota Pittsburgh thing with our receivers. And we get like a Rodgers team or something kind of for a low on piece.
Warren or Williams?
Trey Benson.
No. All right, we're getting Javonte.
Yeah, it was Javonte probably. We already have DK. We can do like we can do like DK with Calvin Austin, and then we can do like TJ Hawk. And we'll be cooking.
And then a Rodgers.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like Javonte, Trey Benson, kind of the same thing to me. Like, I don't really have a super strong preference.
Makes sense, Peppers. The
There you
logical
go.
conclusion to how anyone gets their name in anything. Xbox gamer tag. Classic.
Mhm.
I like him a lot with three games. 3 games is fun. The 2 games is kind of you're playing chicken, like who's gonna not take the tight end, who's gonna not take the quarterback, and then get the last one kind of thing. With 3 games, there's options.
My comment was in talks of Javante over Benson. I don't know if we agreed on that. Like, whoa.
I was like,
Javante playing the Packers.
oh, we're back on the clock. Do you want to Hawkinson first, and then we scroll for Calvin, right?
Yeah, sure, that sounds good. Yeah. And then Calvin, then that gives us the double. Yeah, that feels good. We built out the Dallas Green Bay at running back, and then we built out the Minnesota Pitt.
Yeah, it's a pretty fun way to do it. And then obviously we get Aaron Rodgers, and no one's going to snipe us. But if they do, we would just pivot to
Carson Wentz again.
no. Can we get to
Dak? Probably
Dak with Javante?
Yeah.
No. Well, actually, I didn't even look yet. I always do look, but everyone else has a QB except for the team in the 3 spot, and they probably want Dak with their Ferguson, or they're going to take
Well, probably.
Darnold with JSN. They don't have a path to really getting Aaron Rodgers unless they're just like a complete wild card. There we go.
All right, Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. And I think that works good because that's kind of your low owned piece, right? And even Calvin Austin, he's kind
Dak
of a
just went
scroll.
undrafted, but it's going to happen a couple times.
Well, yeah, if the Pickens drafter doesn't want him, then there's probably a good chance. The Ferguson drafter, I'll take him a decent amount, but other than that, I mean, I don't know. I don't want naked Dak. I want Dak with pieces.
This is a fun one. This is gonna be a fun slate because there's so many options. There's gonna be so many players that go undrafted, kind of as there is in many of these battle royales. But I'll have to continue to scroll down and make sure because there's so many more players in the pool this week. You actually do need a little bit more scroll down than you would normally. Where in a normal week with the 2 games, 4 teams, you're scrolling down, but after about 4 or 5 scroll down options, you kind of run out where it's guys who just aren't playing snaps. In this one, you look at tight end, there's probably still, some use for Freiermuth or Barner. At wide receiver, this entire list is pretty much draftable down to Wilson or even just Tolbert. And then running back is where I think it is the most dry, but you could make an argument for Charbonnet if he's healthy, Gainwell if he hits a touchdown, Sanders if he hits a touchdown. Other than that, it's probably hard to call it. But I mean, we're scrolling down at QB
when he snatches the job.
Mercado's something maybe. We're scrolling down at QB, so it's already kind of there. We're building in some of the low ownership with like Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, and I think we're getting unique with that. Calvin Austin's low ownership as well. I mean, you look in this, Jordan Addison didn't even get drafted. So, like Calvin Austin, I mean, that's a legitimate scroll. Rodgers is a big scroll. And I don't mind those on this slate,
What is this wee shit?
In relation to Javante Williams, which, adding one should be able to sympathize. You're ranking Javante Williams too high and trying to say I agreed to that. That's offensive.
The team we ended up with was a 1-2-2-1. I think we only drafted 1-2-2-1s tonight so far. Aaron Rodgers, Josh Jacobs, Javante Williams, DK Metcalf, Calvin Austin, TJ Hawkinson. So we have 2 of the games there. And then Huhaim's team that he was so proud of is a 1-2-2-1 with Kyler, Jordan Mason, Ken Walker. I mean, that's pretty sick. Marvin Harrison for the stack, Turpin, his guy, Tucker Kraft. So I will say that's a pretty fun team with a lot of different pieces across the games.
When we built a 1-1-3-1 on that Minnesota double 2 ago, the one that ended with Addison, that was Jefferson, Addison, another receiver, and then we got Wentz at QB. and it was Walker at RB.
Yeah, true. Fun times as always, Hartman, and we'll do it again real soon. Thanks for coming on tonight. Do you got any other plans this week? Going live, stream anything on the schedule besides Sunday with Who Hames, right?
Yep. Sunday morning with Who Hames. Nothing on the schedule. Maybe try to do some second quarters later in the week or something. Might fire up the stream for the first time in season, and then probably do some second quarters. First quarter went pretty good, so try it again.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be interested in doing some of those second quarters this weekend if I get some time. And yeah, I said tomorrow night I'll be with the Fanspeak Network on their channel with Bruni and with Andrew doing the DJ Dads show, where we're going to be doing best bets, over-unders, all that good stuff. I threw Who Hames channel into the chat. Make sure you guys check it out, are subscribed there as well. You can catch Hartman going there live this Sunday, talking some ball, and Who Hames also goes live during the day, most days. He was live earlier today with Steve, had a nice stream. Make sure you check it out. And also we've got Hartman's channel linked in there as well. Super fun stuff. What's up, Jonathan Smith? Currently 2-1. Initiated trades, sending Jalen Warren and Pearsall for Judkins and Rashee Rice. I mean, Jalen Warren's kind of running hot. Pearsall's also fun, but Judkins is nice. Rice, we think, is like a league winner. Any quick last thoughts on that one, Hartman?
I like the side you're trading for as long as you can cover it at receiver while you're waiting for Rice.
Makes sense. And we'll send it to the outro from there. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you hit the like on your way out. Leave a comment if you feel so inclined, and let us know if you have any trade, waiver, sit start questions in the comment for week 4. We'll catch y'all in another draft real soon. Peace out.